It's good.
6 new regions are going to have a military barracks so that the Ghana Army will be present in all the regions. In addition, we're going to form joint military and police anti-armed robbery squads. And one of those squads will be here in the Northeast to fight armed robbery. Because we want you to have peace and security to be able to go about your duties. And we know that our 24-hour economy policy cannot work unless there's security and safety for everybody.
Eba ni mpuntuo sem a wode atodwa se obeye de obetimi aye bia hwese mpuntuo sem no adehye a wonom ho ewo North East region wo mo ensa be kan pa na nhye pa nso de NDC aban no e de begu akwan mu no
se pede ehu oman no bebia ni jabo ota ode kogo. That is the heartbeat of the country. Already, maybe I'm a copia or them go. What I want you to understand one kind one. And you're going to cry comparison. Already, December. Bosuma, our chief December. When on the Rapatuaba. Now, says you are Alan. First, I know what means the number one MPP. Says ya, Mamma Kitama Kasabuku. Abulaman, when you what about Sanya MPP and NDC? Anya MPP and NDC. 32 years. What are not saying? Never by marketer. I am young.
As I say, yetimi very careful. Na yetimi very accountable. Na yetimi yetimi de crunching right. Because said the name there said dinner and I need the above. Echina ebe you be for no obi e the MPA nti was so you okay. Also you street. Also I know the onye corrupt. But need the susu pia any be hu. The sad thing is say Ghana no you chew only when your government is not in power. So government any power not just wabokro no. So government or power there and once a corruption assemble they say entisa. So I mean seriously speaking, I believe that we should let our systems. You see, we are fatigued with the air course. So every time biano, you're the way you go prison, you're the way you to. Why don't we create systems that MIM mokrono? It says lazy baumia. They say no yes one electricity tariffs. In the digitalization, what is it doing? Because it's as if it is not working. Because if every your system in your world digitalized that, Sikako a central point and full be answer. We will be to any Sika a electronic a central point. Human being there's no human interface.
I was about my mama Munyana Jasu Jumedi no live on OK 101.7 FM. Mima, good evening. So any akwa baby o share live or so me got you FM wo kukren to me wo OK FM Facebook wo YouTube wo Vim Lady Online any sound wo live so High Life Radio DC Virginia Baltimore Maryland your live or Kids Jersey Radio wo New Jersey ni all live wo Europe Naspa Radio wo London sound wo live so wo Adafupa Media or France and Belgium. Meanwhile, good evening already baby I'm joining you. Thank you so much for joining us. Zigma, good evening and come out. Joseph Kosimens, also good evening and come out. We are also share from Takrade. Thank you. So we'll join you. So radio, so okay. 101.7 FM. Thank you from your producer, Mr. Johansson, DOP, Eddie Bedi Akuni, DJ All Black. Good evening, dear more. And then your major issue about was jail or money. You're what do you say? Now saying, yeah, maybe I'm not one MASLOC. Court a jailing a more sentence to 10 years. But on your a lot of us here need court next year. Ghana. She wasn't in court time omo passenger in fact be say 2 years ni oni Ghana why oyare into oje permission or court on or we will look at that. But a lot of people me share social media commentary now. Lots of people were asking say Nigeria na ya de na cotton yesi ka na beba na. That's a very good question. Very, very good question. Edmond, that's a good evening. Very, very good question. Etiana lawyer Collins he will explain to us. You know, Kofi Kwante to the presidential candidate, but truly, no, Kofi Kwante is a corruption advocate, a corruption crusader. Or only one of the people who have suggested say, be a crank and firing squad because you're sika because of causing financial loss. Sika way ne econo. What it is robbing Africa. All these monies in Africa in Kenya third world country. Basically, in our control bottom insert say and Quebec into the systems. Now, my media no, my say, and yet exactly corruption charge any other bono, causing financial loss. So kind of related, but and exactly related. Mbese factual. Causing financial loss. And no charge in the other bono so or no quarter. And I'm so caught up a quadrini medical boy, a bebo charge. And some have a procedure mu na ko try me ade diwasem ye beto to wano so abe yi wano ono lawyer for beba ansana ye bua ofo enti enye bua ofo wie pe ene ye bua ofo but yan kan hunu say judgment na court de ama enye finally otom ti na me de lawyer dan so aba no me kire mu enye judgment onu say ye de obi court a na wudi for ne a ubetimi akọ appeal amodi bem esida Kings betimi akọ high court no obi edifo Ebeko court of appeal, na court of appeal adane no. Ebeko Supreme Court ni asan adane no. Enti ya convicting it there, but enye completely final because there's an opportunity of an appeal. Enti ya kind of final, but enye final. Ya wa adom na that abre wo word be o use or say finally. Ya final, but enye finally. Kind of. Enti ya shani nyina ye, but most critical issue. It is not even the politics I NDC and MPP be about this issue. Me the air cry na because yeah, the one made the politics say the point of the matter and the most critical issue is that Ghana sika and the year can say me. That is why about the criminal cases are America district attorneys no omuno prosecuting yama. It's always on minor. Bonnie is against on minor, it's not against any individual. And this will be quite a complaint. He said, why me at the end of refit today? It is the state, the republic versus a mountain. And one my so my question video no because bonina why and your mining from son will be as webuso and yes civil case say a civil case I assume senior maintain a court say muja ware husband and wife muna mo court ababi anim muna mo kamasem muna mo kobu matopa na topa na buke muna mo kamasem aja ware but a criminal case ya woni aban wona intina tete ya na nanu am say wanya aban amane into wona wanya aban amane this is how it is but back to Asamana Meka say the most important issue they say why you made here and before ko twa honyam okay why you made the same causing financial loss omo ko twa honyam me ko ba why you me o gaganto wonchendi okay say anyom no still yesika na ma that is the crucial issue ye nyina fa ho asem adwen koso obi anja NDC ne MPP ntro che koso omo nyina obi aba kakra be fa obi ansem by the politics here there so much that can be come anyway mommy so anya appeal kura na say na ye de ne kwa the question is yesi kana we he schools under trees you know how much money at schools under trees what it could be used for and comfort in kwanta krache me na me call enipa ne mmoa e na enom nsuo because there's no pipe-borne water in that village. There is no pipe-borne water. Utumiko village we no more pipe na say maintenance sika from the repair community. But we are interested in see nipa ne bekwa kotum. What about our money? Nti why you media ko ama. Okay, roll is a time the roll is a time ye kwa ye obi at least you need a huntie papa no kind papers there they were explain to us and we understood what they were saying. Quality grade, roll is a time. America for my baby sika so family project organ quality grade. And only have email rice no. Sika pa ba nsam yes, I think a bankrophobia at the their government officials. Roll is a true white paper. Again, yes, you can call Yama. Obama do America for jail, no. They jail there straight. Yeah, Ghana for the true white paper. Again, Yatina woman, a yina anyene say. Yes, you can call baby Emma. How long are we going to do NDC MPP? Ni yesikako. Ni the NDC MPP ni ada kata susani yesikako. Another government bonus baba baby. NDC for ba sesi amam si MPP for ni bia ye corrupt. Omo de omo kokot ye be NDC ni MPP sa na no scan ko na ye bre. Na still mranti ade maba wagu abonti no omu nya adwuma nye. Na still ma ko awo so no omu wu. Na still cheap compound okrebi ni krobi so. Obi ko awo so agisi ye din oba pemfo awo cannot moto so. It is because we the people are so gullible say we like doing NDC MPP. Yeah, the people no. Yeah, NDC MPP more. And the money could have saved. Obi that dialysis so say okolebua 400 Ghana cedis kura odi be chia dialysis oni bi. Sika we afọ bin samo. Afọ bin sam. And the fan for bebre some many evidence beba. She scandals ayenya Ghana. So many scandals sika ni nyina kwa emma. Boy se bre. Na boy say they are home num wi because adwuma ni ho because adwuma ho a obi enu obeje adwuma say me konum wi obeye adwuma. So that is the issue. Why what say now baba maba di atem no focus on those issues and then ne yebeka ho asem and no ne yebeka ho asem focus on those issues na yenka e ho asem ne yehwe ni nyina lawyer dan so mama good evening ni akwaba jaso dwumedie so ene dwumedie na me say wo join here from London mebo a.
Good evening. I'm Maba Haka Krevi.
Okay, good. And the last case on causing financial loss. The more lawyer for ingredients. And the man to make us will be empower ye bibia mo mana boka ama causing financial loss to the state.
You medasi. Let me say Emrano at 29 ni inchichemu aye oha ni ediosun kunu which means ya amende no echire niema obi ya emano yebeka say wa cause financial loss to the state. Ebi ni say ufiri upem ni yedi edwuma bi hye wonsa na edwuma no wanhwe so yie na nu sikasem eko ye basa na se ebo omane ka enu yetimi ejina so ka se yedi edwuma no hye wonsa no na esese aka mo wani ku edwuma no ho wenti bi anye saa de ni nti yedi wo ba ku gina mra kwan no ama ya bisa wo se ade a we ye no udifo anase udimi na se udifo dia na emra no ayo ebiem se we adwuma pani bi na nkwala hye wase sikasem ese wo hwe se sikasem wo betutu ni yie wo hwe moment tutu ni yie na omobo omane ka eno so no yetimi gina so e de hwe eka se wanya wakoso financial loss to the state nia oyesa no mfa ne hunni na wo nso a wo hwe so no so mfa hunni pato wate honaze
matwa ntina je say cause financial loss e bia anye se na wadi tiko but one share adwuma ni so yie nti ukodem
yes ubetimi yes if you say
okay
if you say o hwa okane bebre na nia eya na ewo mu ni say we use the word willful or omission.
Okay.
What you say? Or willful or omission. It is a willful na say no there. Wow, I open. Now omission no bet ma ba say e bia wan hye da. Esa na say udi nipa ni di. Say nipa no sabi o we dey minim say baby a wako wo ye adwuma na aduru mpempenso no ene gidi a mewo ewo ni mu ni nti no ontimi enye bibi basa ewo machi esa ne se wuji ni di a wan kokohwe di books mu na sika bi fa wachi ana se omudi sika bi fa akire na abebo man ne ka no wo ka ho bi so say ne
but well, I don't know if that's fair because obi anim say adwuma bia mu no symptom mre ye wo mistakes errors wo it comes to the job. Ati ana nanom kra ono omo nko law school omo ka say consume na bo ahina e say in every job bia no nya dan ya mistake ketewa bi wa ha ne ebeko nti say o ka say dia nipa no ye yo wa anya nyina no still aye ebo man ka Now one shut a cry since you bought money can causing financial loss. Is it fair in the law?
Well, Emrano, Niento Samra and buy and say, ye per se, Ubia, ye did much on South Ye. Now ye. So, we a year, Uraya, ye didn't go to moon, ye see, ye didn't go to moon, said the name. Catching no can honor. Catching no can honor. Would ye muya. Catching no ancassadie, initially crano. Now on any media air cosolum. Tin you. None any new. Na omo bono, copy mu say actually no nankasa ye day. Epini edi 2 mu a afedie na ono so e sign checks no. Ni tietie mu kura na ska onu nya was ade ni nya ye 20,000 pe.
Yeah, Brandt, your second accused person or come on.
Yes, or come for 2 years. So no. Sika no omo de ba e mesi no so. Na mom so ono so ko sign check. Emrada ho say o sign check aye ABCD. So hunu ABCD. Afedu bebri na akwa say conveyor belt because oma oni maame na ye omanya mfane say anyonkofa. Oma trust wom esenye trust kwa ne omo ji omo hudi. So hu.
Jafe de ba obi akwa musa na o ma sign check no.
Yes, sana neti. Eti se bibi saba wa wo sign check no ebia na wo de wo feel say wo de onye politician wo de wo ye wadwuma na wo boss say sign to wo sign ye no sika no wo boss akodi wo fa mra kwan so na de sign ye adena wo sign bi na eno no weni akire and wo sign
okay
so abasika so abasika se ye de show nsa ansa na abasika e be release no e be wo niam bebra efem enti se one fast niam no mu ana se sa niam na du ho apene wa ni se conveyor belt wo du ho apene wa take na wo se nko no wa nhwe na yu ani a asem ba ye do ka ho bi
okay enti said ye nananom bu be say opanyin otena fie ma asefo afọ no ka ho no sa na law ne tie
exactly
enti nya se bi awkra no wadi ska na ye hwehan na ama bone koso a wonim se wedi se wo hwe bone na wo tea bone no wan tea na ka ba ka na ye yugu so
me chese sa pepepe even kura no se wo hwe ma even damage so and I say wo hwe uyi wani ema obi pia na se afiti oman no a so it be charge for causing financial loss to the state
okay
ni enya de baako bebre
and ye bebre di na je se nkofo bebre wan ka so mo call under this law because me am the law no ha me bebi esesi I will say 1741 me bo a
179A
179 okay 179A okay
yes
179A okay mama here
29
and 179A will say whoever in any manner unlawfully interferes with or obstructs the working of any lighthouse, beacon, buoy, signal, other apparatus or thing of which kind soever which is used or maintained for the safety or of navigation. When anya no now can 179 okay causing loss, damage, injury to property. And one or say any person who willfully or omission causes loss, damage or injury to property of any public body or any agency of the state commits an offense. And two, no, see any person who in the course of any transaction or business with a public body or any public agency of the state intentionally causes damage or loss, whether economic or otherwise, to the body or agency commits an offense. Exactly. The only the said in the checks no sign it and then ma buy no bulk.
Utie charges near the bone now. 79. 78. 78. O di evening na move for. 78 odini nyina mu fo
nipa baako
enema ni yehu eno nso na me ye ne lawyer ha na nka me mesere me ni beji nanso me o mefa me ntimi nka ho asem bebre ai
but on church honi mu wani beji say no we a fine case abetimi atwitwa de no
na then na 7 charges 78 ni nyina eni na odi mu for say oni ho ni ntia ana o de ye be ba ho say
maybe no oni one no e dey no call ye say ono ne lawyer nim say we busa permission say no wonfa no e so otu kwan enti no otu kwan no ntia e dey na nti me nim say person obetro unu ya lawyer under the bus there but like I don't have 78 charges tire mu ba ku bi eni wa lawyer no to me defending no on those charges ana
enti ne nti efuai me bisa question back enti lawyer no onim hwe no ko gina ho it can be that that serious identity ontimi defend back kra it won't be defend back kra what you say when to be
because the ingredients in of all the 78 charges so I want to be proving in prosecution to be proving in beyond reasonable doubt 78 charges
78
really
na near woman is say sa charges we no sa financial loss to the state emu ba ku kra bo kra na obekoje
okay
so I just say emu ba ku kra bo wa yes there's a higher possibility so obekoje yes eti media na ehun hia say omutimi ye ma 79 na omuti because we for saying anyway it's just by the way.
No, but I guess by the way, very important. 78 nina because near can hey. We need evidence to crowd. But I say
when you alcohol, what is say
yeah, because 70 and normally you will be court for fra. Police for no share only pure charges nina go so. The one to drop it we dey to me no. Come to me ko amend the charge sheet no. Normally charging for fraud, but say we there. As a probable cause or higher share than probable cause. Higher share you way to me prosecute papa. The other said in the inquiry 78 charges.
Yes,
they were able to maintain all the charges and also prosecute all the charges. Now, in the law, no quite on Casa and I say, then
on Casa saying, on Casa, on Tim Cocota, where Casa on Casa.
Okay. What happened? What happened? What is the plausible thing at see what court and see 78 charges need to mistake here?
The woman is say, sir, somebody can catch us a mubaku be a crap, but charges in mubaku boa. Which Maku prison. A beer prosecution no any say, sir, offer charge A. Na say. Oka ho asem wia na se court gitu a no dia linki the other charge no aka no dia linki nti o any sa dia ni nyina ba be adekoro but say yes ye bie mu na ye chiche mu a enya adekoro so nti em se sana omoye ma nti buka honest ma sa case we man shedam follow man shedam follow but me say obetimi akoko gina ho aka say 78 charges ni nyina metimi approve ni na nyina me de abo ewura na ma wantimi undefended ba kokra anyway
obetimi about say the court magia to me the next say okay
me may probably meet magia to me ne mra ono ankasa nkasa agia to mu nfo so atum say ni nyina me di fo but what you say no get to say ni nyina me di for dia ene na sabre no ene charges ni na ye be den ye di nyina be so one they do credit this one ye be hwe dia esum mu ne de agina no so di ebunu
okay until I o dey enko other issues because me who say court no so enya bua no for the next say they may have defended but the defense ni bia amfa.
Indeed.
It's also possible to say The way I'm openly, the way they were openly, committing, what sign checks or signature was so. Any street person cry on a classroom that credit inside the way. You turn 1 city, so on 10 city. So the court can see, say, even average, average man, the reasonable man on the street in the crowd talk, a bicycle cry, a 1 million, so I got on 1 million. Internet just said they really couldn't defend it.
Mamika Bakuincho. Not 500,000 people. A buyer, no, Yebisano, a run say signature, as a signature, but no sign. No prosecution, 80 me prove you say, a no sign. So, 80, and no say no, or no sign, yeah, I establish no. And no, yeah, they are ball, which mean your she. So, and now, if you are Sikabia, a good deal in some. And can say, or Sandy Cotu, a banfutu, you Sabi, Casa, Umukotoye, Yenimusani Tono, a gaso, a bayano, na Casino, Yatono, say 1 city, nay a tono, only about 3 cities. Mobile phones, ne idea, Okotoye, Minu no more baby. Some mobile phones, Engina. Send a moton a gasono, a deba Ghana bank no, na a buono a mohum prensa. It near my baby, yes, and me get to say, and it's so obvious. We are there, we are not a baby. But I didn't go back 70, 18 now.
Hey, ask them. But when I dance here more beer or tea, I may do maybe answer. I know say we be why you careful because on a mocha say criminal you cry. Tort law, civil law, bet you say. I be able also more need that. Ye jini ye nini ye de snap on ye. Anyone jini when in our coin be alabia a bar. Criminal and choke civil liability bet you.
Yes.
And 2 years you may be annoyed, you don't know why you said the Bible can say. Unipa otiase no de obenye bia afọ adwini nyina no okra nyina aye because adwuma bi ani asama do na aye kono.
Yes.
But no the other main issue for bebentias which is that you are sentenced to 10 years in absentia. Oni o and they say no sika no ye koji anase ono ye kofa no ye so Canada. Ye kofa no free Canada ba na because minim say mu UK no. UK ni Ghana wo reciprocity. Inti Ghana ma judgment ya. Ubetimi the judgment na ko UK akọ enforce no ho. But Canada, I know money reciprocity.
Okay. The can maminche mu kakra say absentia no. Absentia, you can see you do asem in absentia. Netre say unipa kro no. Abre ye di asem no. Na unni ho. Eni ye di asem no wo achi. Anase na wo ho na mu baabi no ye hu biem. And your twice you dear some. So here ran the case now. If you say you are some no oh. Inti ye dear some more baby no case or person or coye or to quine or g permission from court. So or person to quine a coffee g ayarishe. So and I caught the man. Now no na caught the man you know. Rano intimi in my Ghana beam. Inti quarter one for I think 16 months or say 17 months, 18 months. In fact, a year and a half. And that's me on Koso. Inti say hono and a prosecution it me could convince a judge and say, and as a court to say, a run was dana Oma. Inti no young twa asam so. If you say, I can bear the ben one say, Obi a court to a man permission so uncle. If you grano, Minim Niano lawyer near idea. No minimum say permission no crown say a year man will be a 2 weeks and a be a cosia. That say, ultimate paperwork and I say, Bibia in our so be a chile say. ebia ewura no no kure still an ho dodo no na se oji ayarehwe no ho to no say any bia nche da ma say by mpo a na nye convincing enough.
Yeah.
And the ma judge no etwa asem die no so. Aha, and ma judge no to us. Inti anya say ewura no mfidiase no ano oni ho asem ye die ekuduru baabi ansa na ofiri omanimu.
Nti ono na be say kwan say opese okokohwe ne ho. But within the practice of the law, na normal say so obi wo problem bi ana o tu kwan okohwe ne ho yare okọ ayie bi otumi be say kwan emi yetumi ye case na bra oni ho in absentia na yetumi ye.
Ye be ye in absentia ewo abra a time ye de ma wo no reasonable time ye de ma wo no. Wa ACD na all efforts to bring you back anye yie. Anye yie dia. That's a prosecution ihwe senia wo ye wo ho no a obetimi akọ court ka kire court say ebia asumesi said dia o ye no if you grow up obetimi because obakọ ka say oma obakọji bi your friends bench warrant court no betimi dia ma so wo mo ngwechew wo mu a wonchew nti wo mo hwa na say ye hu a okọ court obetimi ka say ebia otembuafo esa ne se ye hunu asumasi minti no ye be pese ye de asam na ye beto aso e wonati in terms of sa in ekusi
Nti ono na nka woso ne lawyer for ne time na court ne de man ne twam no na nka woso obebo court na man ye te bia se yare bi emu odin se obi o no ye cancer chemotherapy ana bibi ana surgery bi na time na nka woso obo court na man ye se say no the medical record about say be any treatment on we. That's what she should have done.
Me did say said ya woken say ye sanity a no lawyer no ebeye.
Okay.
Bear in mind is say judge na oti akunwa mu no. Oni obi afa ogina mfinfin. Dia on pesa obeye ni say ube take advantage. Enti abre nyina no otie obi asem a otie no mienu ansa no obemeki obetu anamon bi du na wahunu se ade ye no ebeboa atentrene ansa na wotusa anamon no yes ansa na wotusa anamon no
okay
enti minyini se prosecution ko ya pe okokan ya pe no aka je say okay yen start asem no Debbie,
okay.
So court who say what said that what said that and I will boa a tree assembly umpasi ebedi assemno. Judge no so mama the kwan moka say you are delaying the proceedings. Until me ma that says wa ma assembly beto aso. Without even we no first prosecution no kra be intervene. So just say
it's ya mano ya sentence in 10 years only hono.
Yeah.
How you better than the number. But what I said that I said she can appeal, which is what me introduction of me.
Minganjere offer and needy. Minganjere.
That me when me introduction me can say. And you find obeti me I appeal no ha.
Yes. Nti the woman is say say ye bua unya ban amane a na say yesi kwana kwa demu ana say yesi ya boka emra no makwan say unyi atemu no entumu a say o appeal ana say obeko for review enti yes onko mumfiedu and no it's not the end of it na the woman say Duduana, me use the word Duduana appeal there. Eya, o servo sentence in the appeal a taye ye. Pachetini.
And don't call them no we appeal no.
Appeal no Duduana me use me say Duduana, which means a book how bit my appeal, but Duduana so nipane echo client ni edem na se ya appeal na Eya eta succeed than say sebi ubetena amanone na one mana also be appeal. Ni say be adwuma enye.
Okay. And just say you bet me the for Canada ba.
Why na the neighbor?
Interpol. How they say I know. Baby person mo say how do we get her to come? Because your man is sentenced. It's on record. Say she's been convicted. They are convicting we no for. Ni person to Canada. And the bad because your sentence you be the enemy say was said the pan serving a sentence said the okay na what all serve. What here say we be serving a sentence. Because ordinary person be auton jane bi body bi ana say e shoemaker bi ana truck bi rabia ko no ni ticket bi o de ko Canada bi an ko no court no mpon kra na e nam sa wom line.
Okay, the edika no Ghana ban ye ne Canada any Canada ban minni so mo wo ene extradition
Treaty bia
o masan ene ne to so mienu se empo se nka bibi sa wo ho a interest if we say interest aban no ewo sa asem ekopim sen se aban hwe na sa asem no nani hyeda enhyeda emfa no hu bebre ana se nani hyeda enku bebre a opa omfi no na oti Canada ho no why see mi de minim no de but why see oti ho no na so mwadwo no sebe untu kwanda emfiri Ghana aya na wo fele se Ghana ye kurom no ba bia honye the moment ye di enhye bi beto so se ma kurom bi mu no is enough a torture
say baby oti no kwa na sentence no
a torture I'm telling you but Ghana ban ema Canada ban achire naba so be mana chire naba sende nanka eye ebetima fa sa asem we hu ama Ghana ban ne Canada ban say yini sa ayi na ayonkofa na omo aye ama ye de naba so woni bebi oti dia yes obetimi aye ema say yini bikura na obetimi agina so e de aye ama na aba na ni nyina kokowie se na bidi kan ye no emra we no ye no se de be ya ubia ye du ba ko si adwuma no sebe sika fa wonsase hwe sika so no wonye bibi basabasa na adwuma no ye de ma wo no ubeye ni yie na nipa hye wase no wa hwe o musu yie se de be ya omun koftwe asem emrewo anything ye sa amre it's just unfortunate say akoba ne sa now I want to say this matise nkofo kan o social media say obetwen na NDC for ba power I don't want to be sounding like a politician maybe a politician say court edu bi to dem na say onipa ko no hunu nyansa edwane fi o manim na so kotwen say na ban mbra na omra na say yenyi no dia and then we have a long way to go na menye ni so
pardon so what's the president all right so betimi pardon conform me wa
wo ho pa but enya mre a onipa na shaida akọ adwane afi o manim anaso wato mrade na wafiri o manim ni ye di charges abono na wadi ni nyina mu fo na so mi twan ama party we ba ansa na meba Ghana nde be ba be party nti aban bia na so president bi obeye se bia no waseti bad president so okay former president mama Oma Adamu Sekandi, Oma Opadeno. Opadin, Muntie 3. Yes, Opadin won. Omo nyina serve ya say the Opadin won.
Okay, omo ko there mu ansa. Okay.
Na wonwane nipa na nwane anko. Ena ono kwakotwen say aban na saban na manso e. Enye adepa kura say obi dwin. Enye adepa.
But enye adepa but no so just enye impossible because Ghana for him say betimi asi.
I don't think say any government and as any president would like to do that. Be it MPP or NDC. I don't think say Dr. Baumia president Urano obeka say bra na me do boni achew. And I'm meaning say president former president Mahama nso beka say Urano ewrai sidinam bra na ye win power inti no me do boni achew. I don't think so.
Let's look at this possibility. President Kufuor akonya so na obeko no. Also pardon nkofo.
Yes,
some of them Chatuji Kata I think na ni din wom and some other key political figures near there. I think Nana Credit my role in the class was giving pardon about the case be an so court. How about say Nana do so because obi send a message I just free yourself to no kind say Nana do be on the 6th January. Obeko 7 January no. Ombeye swearing in for a new government no. No actual letter to pardon her, and also say also possible.
Possible. Now, me see it will serve as a bad precedent. Okay. Possible. Now, a baby a tracker me whom me chin is in your papa.
Tracker also come and I come a bit where I come.
Yes. Bibi bonny baby daho. Into be a bit in your train, or be bonny. Well, fat gun sika, not the carbon thing. Say, son and net here, dear. So, Minka, me, Oma, yes, she's been sentenced, but it's only say, or bit my opinion to the mean to me, and I may some yellow and to meet me, say, Abia, as someone who didn't move on as a visa. Yes, it's not use so yeah, dear. So, yeah, dear. Na ukwende ubende zia ube pardon so what fisika inti mi uya mi nipa meja uko. I don't think so government be a besa.
Okay. Inti la uya no lawyer say ya enka obeka chance omra Ghana no me face no nya appeal no. Almost start a sentence, no appeal. Criminal case, but can she maybe like criminal case on to me? Me refi procedure no credit. Stay. Who to me yes stay. Because almost me should jail no be kono.
Oh yeah, that stay of execution.
This is a criminal procedure. On to me yes stay. Into omra no dance home.
So do voluntarily. So, Nina Eboa, and just as I win in a minute, and just a come up on thing. So, but Chair, Judge or Tiakunyum, so you as someone. Ujina Horno Cran. Wo demeanor. Any wo behavior or courtroom or formal opinion. So, enti se meno the lawyer make a trend me panicho se omra ome servo do servo then we put in the appeal baby a who lawyer who yes say hot to see no what can appeal simple no say 10 years no so say ukwa appeal na 10 years no umbetimi ate so ama ba bia 4 years and that's 6 years. So what? Oh no. Yes, kitwa bi enza awo je mu.
Okay. Now we do ni abema Kofi Cranton bebem say na make an answer corruption and a activist there but me busa aside we say me a few question no. Una say na ye law foforo. There wa America no mu UK ho ni bi no. O ma ye law foforo bi a am friend no plea bargain, plea deal.
Yeah, plea bargain.
Enti we no nkobetimi a opt for plea deal ana.
Plea bargain no ho. Dia na eme de wo mu ni say. So wo client no, wo judge lawyer bia or the client be court or criminal case bia. Onim say asem no anya ni client no e be koji. Tutu na ya ni nim. Nti esa wo pe mu ka kire no say asuo ahailie eto ebetimi a yenko jintum si ajitum ne wanko fu trial ye wo percentage a say ye be ma 10 years a yetimi tiso ebia na about 8 years and 7 years say police station ho kura no jitum a ye wo dudu a ye dan ye tifiri mu e na court room ho uba court no usi asem me pa mo chao I imagine me mfum so nyina tum one say court mre se no koba ne sa na usan eye ohu mobomobo na ushow yeah you see the word remorse yes ushow remorse we am remorseful judge nitimi gina so kase one say ebre one say one man say sika odinidie ama court no ene oman no ebia say maximum ne 10 years a os minhwehwe ketwa say no kura no behwe no ebia ye chi wo kotu ye chi wo ansa na ye di asem no etitiri nyina afiri mo behwe na kakra bi no wakosefo
Enti adana ne lawyer for na advising with 78 charges in muya and there's not looking good. One we ingredients in nyina, one we even check no problem the chair no na. Said nam ne ka say we dey say the fact that wa admitting pose este kra no kra wo ya ma admission kakra bam. Enti adana amanji antuma anye plea deal no bi. Then you say sika no bi na obe refund ya what you kakra na ne say 1 year bi na obe kwa.
I can speak to that.
Because at once in the case here, your banking sector crisis. One also a plea bargain.
Plea bargain, yeah.
It's I didn't say the number the 1 year plea bargain. I don't know what legal team, what thinking. Did they think 78 charges they could prove?
Just say, they
could defend it.
And I make say, sir, causing financial loss to the state. Winim, emu baku. There's a high possibility of because na emu 78 emu maku 78 I don't want to me nimnia a course inti me blame ni legal team
okay
me nimnia a course yes me yes I'm not being fair.
Do you think say we obey to me their fan when you asylum man because say minimum US law for no omo your asylum kakra but I don't know about Canada.
Yes.
Obey to me the way you so refugee status of Canada.
Exactly.
Even when it's a lawful competent court with a clear conviction, obey to me in your asylum.
But I avoid say me sa edumani bi say Ghana na me practice see.
But first now yeah asylum cases man go UK mbo. Minister now you be here.
Inti asem we aba no anka ye di nyama bia be ka ho na ye di akọ na ye di akọ asylum aman. You betimi anka betimi ayi aman. But me nya sa de ni bi. Inti obetimi bi agina so. But if you
I am patrol law actually on what basis not the benya asylum no.
If we are magajira was a major sedma no.
Yeah, but what they also on my education, but like in terms on what basis because there's a conviction 78 charges, all of them she's been convicted. In what basis not the beje asylum no.
Me bao oko jina so kwaka kire say. Yen mna pon si article 19 say fair try. fair trial ne say onipa no ho na o kana asem na muti na yedi asem no yedi kan obestre court kwan say okwakosa ne ho yade court ma ne kwan wanwane so bebo so mayo yebu asem ne tia no inti sa nipa no yema no kwan emra no meda afiase mfiedu ekitwia so the moment abeka sa akire obru nipe dana obema no temporary dana yes
Now, also to me, you so against her, but now the lawyer was fully representing her in court. And this only one, technically, she's there. She wasn't sentenced in abstention because her lawyer was fully represented in court. The processes, the objections were all raised, and they were all given fair hearing. And also,
sure, what would you ask someone? We knew one a bit makani, Papa Mount. A criminal case.
Okay.
Just say, person ya asylum application there. You will name be a your key words be a uyusua. Yet a university here. I mean, and the main program is so.
I don't know about that. Can I let me because almost all about the bush of also almost 30. Because the bush of also say she has been branded.
I can't say more. Men can be Angela.
Can't.
I say, sebi.
1 month free advice.
And no lawyer for or which you
okay. Because people are also saying, say, I say, a human honor. Nkofo bebe so aye nema de ahye no. Nti ye ni nyina na ye ono a. And he's been denied access to the bush because say okay, on to me Mbagana o. Because of the asylum, so I just NDC crab power on to me some Magana me boy.
Anything bizarre say, inti charge ejo watchi ejo son watchi no. Ni na odi move for. The bizarre asem.
So that's what the court said.
Yes, I am pass. I am back. Enti obra na owo chire owo esoja na say owo abrochire no. Charges no omo kan ni nyina wo nanim ma omo try ni nyina wo nanim ansa na oko. I don't think so.
No, try and start ansa na oko.
I try start here omo kan charges ni nyina omo try ni nyina omo ye.
So that do court at least you make you plea on all the charges, me boy.
Yes.
And she had counsel until she must have understood the charges and sana o plead.
Yes, baby no ha menye di se baby oji nimfum so to mu. Sa 500 ayi kura no, sa 500,000 yana make us say. She pleaded not guilty. What you say? She pleaded not guilty.
Okay. No, be me mbusa question go to me ba house here na say to me mbusa say in the Canada for who say of Ghana a democratic country what proper judicial system one. There is no amount of immigration convincing now bet me unya asylum no. What do you say?
Me issue fair try. What you say? Wo yen constitution. And American asem no. Udi no ka ho a. No so ka so oyare no ba ya. Obetimi dia note in court note betre say yes any court the omodima mini omodima mini say minko permit omodima mini say metimi akọ me ho ayaresa. What is he environment?
And then the lawyer for omunya expert.
Idea my said man my ho aduma pen. Minim said dia yes.
Because US law say also prove it say number 1 you are being persecuted, number 2 you are part of you are being persecuted or there's imminent persecution, and you are part of a group, a recognizable group, and 3 you can't get fair trial, any protection our home country no any ombejina somehow
inti so ka say fair try na ye kan ho asem sisi ana enya no so ni ho o si oni ho And as a media when it here, Obende.
Okay. Okay.
So
Very interesting. Very interesting.
So ni hono. And I'm with the assembly when it here. We am faman. Yeah, ye di asem na wiyo. Ye di asem na wiye. Ye nim so odi ban Ghana ban si odi fo. Ye di awie. So ama ya di atum so odi fo. What you say ama judge I sentence is odi fo. It is so kwakọ ne application for asylum. I don't know what kind of story. On ka story e be suit to government no. So just say you don't have to go and tell a story a bit suit to government, you know. So what kind of story a bit suit to government? Then I say obi no odi be ma.
But well, I don't say immigration for say they have opportunity to verify our story. Yes, I'll buy no man for our story, no. So Messi what
say idea ehia any say no ho. O say ye bua me ye bua asem na tia me. Na me ni ho. Eni ebuti ya me. Na me yare. Yes I know oka.
What do you think about this? Because meaning say, you have been a key campaigner of corruption to the extent say, the way a corruption and can be a client from quotation. In fact, corruption criminal offense won't say if you are there's a whole you on corruption in the criminal act 29. But yes, I'm fine. What do you make of this judgment here? They said none. You're sentencing 10 years.
Efia, Michia, lawyer, so lawyer dan so Michia, na Michia etifu na. Efia, na name bi say Emma mirror ho. Nenti Emma mirror ho ne say, eyi na degenerate in society no, because you create loopholes or system numa. A course financial loss no to yen. And I'm criminals. So, say woko court na wo charges 78 charges would to me fine nina say we are guilty of all the and in that say jama when legal representation. But so when you legal representation at the time I was presented with the charges now we Ghana. Tina mekano, me common sense argument I may make as a lay person. Mona moye expert, me expert, but me wo common sense. Inti wo time na wo Ghana wo present charges no. What the legal team no when to me enye nyina so be enya one not guilty. Because now wo Ghana, inti at least when you one crown poor, if you are this my common sense. Make common sense and say no be or be a munti is asking. Say at least when you one and poor, that could be a basis say be a only honinti not the rest now we're finding the guilty, no what to me finding the guilty. But at least what me and one now or you're not guilty, dear, then there's a possibility say uncle Uncle bet me make a case and one finding the more say oh yeah. Not guilty. Mpacho na make him say common sense as a lay person. Inti wako abrochi now we call one immigration service now we make case for asylum. Our friend asylum say ubenya stay wa abrochi in what a documentation for asylum. No wait me a cast say na our friend lawyer can say what presented was such charges, when the work council at least one day, because maybe at that time when the West started to feel worried near day, it was having a toll on you. Intino, one time our honomana we put together, no, mentally, psychologically, no. So one, no, you were able to, not two, and not three, no, you're able to get pleas of not guilty. Now, we feel how bad because when you hold it, you couldn't have gotten a fair trial because there wasn't a fair representation of you. Nobody represents you better than yourself in court. Right or right? Based on that, one family asylum because that's clearly a sign of unfairness because nobody represented you. Well, it could be crazy be what council no change and I say there was some change, be a judge, over static case, and yet the same judge there could be a multitude of factors and we between us. But 78 Nina will find you guilty, including time and now we Ghana. What's your case? If you cry, me worry. Let me tell you what my worry is. My worry is say, yet to me create a system obi to me, and this doesn't make any kind of sense because she accepted say, woman Obapa 550,000 cedis loan no Oba requested for additional amount and I will present an additional amount of 500,000 no. I will approve man no. What can I say? Oh, on 500,000, Uba betia interest of I think 24 to 25%. You know. Now we refuse to, First of all, if you read the loan, loan documentation, no, a couple of things they read to you for you to agree. Back on the interest, APR, annual percentage rate. One can annual percentage yield. One ma schedules how you're going to pay this back plus the total cost. Sadi na a law say SSL loan document no so. What if I tell say well BBR? Come on. Well. Inti enye ewurano na meko. Ewurano ne facility MASLOC no will present here ye to oba post now we accept it. It's then na what they sa sika of 500,000 ibrewa. What to make us say? One person sika ni bio. Now one person sika ni bio na what the check reba obi to me from wuni munyansa. Efia wuni munyansa. What frau kase in fact check of 500,000 emra. Inti what proof say what the say sika kwene anything
and listen
but say sika gu bokitim and afa gu kotokum na fa be sia me wo gas station bi wo say alajo say ehio won so de akoma maami dey no this sika no ko maami na press so oje sika no well at least one press the first time but what ya hwehwemu no hu say afa de MASLOC for say no you will schedule payment say oh loan now be an excess of 500,000 no time address say oh yeah we schedule payments me schedule payments me this kind of brand with the data and SME schedule payments no so there be first kind of mine no so be there by am because here ewura no wo gas station what the question obi okay you be throw back goody
obi amfre
because wo hu say afede niama SSC ani afia me say
and not just outside, there was a whole scheme just to chop money.
It was a scheme. It was plotted because nobody in their right mind will accept sentence. He cannot go back and forth. Wonim. If you wonim, me say, I saw the jail 1,000 years. Me, let me say, hey, Minister lawyer they said that Nedumane de or friend America, New York, from liars. Liars. No, sorry. Lawyers. Liars. Sorry, liars. I mean, I get confused with the name. Is it lawyer, liar? Okay, never mind. That's a joke. But, if you're an American, say, Oba brochino di sikabra brochina wabeboa won economy nede. Wopewe di dia protectino. No dia tene krom ho no waspendi sika no. Eye new colonialism. Strategies ni be new.
But to be fair, Kofi, Canada morning castle no person man asylum. Yeah, contemplate so beti mi age asylum one.
Me say obeje asylum no. Now opani na nkasa tia wo je na tinye. O say why yes I did nti enya dia ohwe facts na o say o e di cool chop. Menya asylum amewure. Ne lawyers no honya smart. Ne lawyers no honya smart. On to me nkan me de meka. Ne lawyers no honya smart. Now Odipa opinion callings or two also edi and I said enya no representing who be no representative for fair trial or the baby won't say yeah or the baby won't say fish obenya salam na man So for a certain amount, to political crisis, obedukra Ghana wa obehwe na brimuno aye na yi. Obenya asylum na man. Me kra me nye yi kra minim saden. So, but na me can say, where did we get here? How did we get here?
Exactly.
Because if the opportunity does not present itself, now they wouldn't have to worry about this back and forth, these backflips. SSA to me create a system here. We don't get here. Now, let me tell you this. Imagine say Kofi Quarantine administration. Maybe you use blockchain. Into transactions BA Sika blockchain. You don't get cash. Anka a rather part who ant say who ant a rather part.
I want to know.
There be who if you are
there are minimum no pa madam.
Or the Sika Costa and mattress I see say yeah transactions on blockchain. Now there is no change of physical cash. Anka say Ministry of Finance mark consignment say one fan dredging no. Anka wobemana a credit memo to this sector. Sika biya machine instead. But what to be Sika?
Not Kofi Quarantine.
Let's go. Yes, dia.
Who say say an American say more bio, one Mosanko save no say.
We have to be fair. Maybe any Ghana say. Maybe any Ghana say. Won't be fair usika AC ufi and I saw them. Maybe any.
Oh, Debbie. Doc, I
let's be fair to the lady. Yes, sir.
It is like the bad okay.
Okay. Indeed, Doc. Okay, young fan say a bien okay. Let's be fair, and be fair. A human way, Doc. Met your donor no corner for him. Metri wako shape that chrono has said.
Yeah, but that is distinguishable from any relationship. Yeah, can say a year. Never me a year. Somebody any idea no cost $1. No, the begu fear. If you any odona because I don't know come on. The bush and somebody no the cockati odona anymore.
Okay, if making me. I've been a principal of the Securities and Exchange Commission. Me, Amity, for 24 years.
Yeah, I mean, you said now, yes, man, New York, yeah.
Okay, Tio. Won't to me, in investi Sika Krampa, won't to me improve originality of the Sikano? Won't to me. Into what the young fan say, says Sikani any day, if he in a buy.
Oh, I can't say somebody.
Oh, let me say, in somebody. What in somebody want my receipt?
Nyani my receipt, but I say baby my receipt.
But we are the issue. Discussing. Let's try to deal with it rather than say Cecilia, Madam Cecilia Dapa issue because bear in mind it's a case in still court.
It's our court, yes. I'm website here for contempt here.
Let's not try to deal with it because they were caught.
Okay, lawyer, I'll leave it alone. But I can't say be. Yenga create conditions for yen downfall by virtue of how we do things. Because the per se corrects our problem, correctable. Very correctable. There is just way too much opportunities to steal in government. Lawyer, meboa kachim se meboa.
Can say there are loopholes in the system.
Okay, good. Thank you for letting us know. Friend Liar Collins.
Lawyer, that's
this program now, we are trying to find and explain how Sidnam Akodem any judgment abano who is so any your waiting. Let's try to deal with that. Yenjai other ones.
No, but I think maybe a coffee soup because he has been fighting corruption for a while. Knowing the pandemic, corruption, no, so he's also coming from that point. Say, your system no near elaborate. Some approach only enough. And German Crawford take advantage. Then all said nam there no mudi can go see obino because these were all the facts. They were in the fact that was read in court.
Yes.
If there was something patch say, approach system ni be one case I won't face can go see it will be flagged.
Yes, I agree. Now me can say abrochire enye almost sorry happen edu baby edu.
Oh, here we go again. Here we go again.
Ghana, as we speak, Ghana. See, nipa kakra bi enikita physical cash. So, nipa kakra bi nikita physical cash. Inti gradually, ye be free. Sa baby I want.
There is no doc, Pacho. Jacks are gradually neka. There's absolutely there's no reason. There is no reason to gradually get there. There is an urgency to stop it today, and we can if we want to. So gradually, you know, more can say, oh, America took 200 years. India say, Major, you need that time. No, we have over 840 billion cedis of debt. Ukraine say 840. Inti mekan let me say we will gradually get there. You don't understand the urgency of the situation.
I do understand. I do.
No, you obviously don't.
Well, I do.
What do you mean gradually? Gradually said then.
As a Ghanaian, I'm hey. Minim say 10 years ago. Sana near maybe tino in the sanity CC. Enti kakra. Yebeko o membie ni wa nemra oye no dindindi prekope kakra
ya no membia
ba uku wanim nyina no na u learn from your mistakes na u amende na o de emra foforo ba na uku wanim kakra ebeduru mebinu ubo se I take shape na efefefefefe so na efefefe yes yedeka inti upaso chese corruption any abrochire upaso chese there are no kickbacks
inti what's your point? What's your point? Your point is that that's a weak argument to make. Very weak argument.
Well, but I'm not here to argue with you. I'm only trying to tell you that we can do it gradually. And we
don't have to do it gradually. We don't have to.
Well,
people are dying.
Well, I'm not. In fact, I'm not a policymaker, so I won't be able to even.
Well, that's why.
There's a question that we are also here, which is that people think COVID contest starting. I think he alluded to that fact. And Govt say lawyers are enabling the rocks in Africa, especially Ghana. He said, people say, people think say. But how they tobo people think say senka Asian law Ghana ya lawyers for Asian law and can also the law no mo bua check system no near the build the system no mo dey check policy makers. Lawyers are not policy makers but you bua policy makers no say the law no mo is we are enabling the rot because social strike reporter social strike reporter say we are losing about $3 million every year through corruption.
They are saying lawyers
defense technicalities. I think that's not what before I said. They say they're enabling. As to defense, that's to say who will enable.
How do we enable?
Sometimes you can even tell, say, a client in the case you're bad. You can see the way there 78 charges. All the ingredients of the charges. What's not now? No client they can say you to say, I say when you can corner. When I make you can tell because why you are human, you can tell any power. At least out of the 78, or you're guilty of about 50 and a 15. But still, lawyers will enable and use legal technicalities. Yes or no, or can when you're admissible. Technicalities, we will not admit this evidence. We will make sure.
Eti mama mfa mo anipa.
And yeah, and more would the okay, if yeah, let me lawyer Pacho Tia.
I said yeah, na me now we was secondary school now. There was this lady I know called SU. Or yeah, no, or yeah, SU leader. Now of religion, right? Now we had Bible commentaries that we criticize the Bible, right? Because no dear ni didie actually say Bible no ye tro konkron no ye no na yetimi criticize Bible no feel say ye ni babone so exams do so no nyai so just here ni ameka go see ni say makosu
SU
that's the by the way.
Make it very by the way. Yeah, let's get to the topic. The topic.
Yeah, what I'm trying to say is that see akosu adwuma, se makosu adwuma. Na se onipa sebe. Itu wo person che me say obi obanyim, right? Na okofa is so ba ko hu doctor, be o person terminate a pregnancy. Na se wan ko hu doctor no. No nkasa fa duro ofie. Na se amana se ekunu a okodu hospital doctor anka say esani say we anka say na nka we terminate of the pregnancy no criminal act into it means save life na we are there
the ethical issue the doctor for you need say they should save the person first and then about criminal but I think the point is raising is say look at Sika Eshegu in corruption and kebeti say Sika to Ghana man not ethically more for law no boa and protected the national purse.
The biggest one of the biggest problems
lawyers we are not police. It's not due to lawyers. Lawyers, any year how are policy makers, right? If the policy makers do the right policies, right, put measures down to check where there are loopholes, then there wouldn't be any theft.
Okay. Makofi fighting because you see the same policy some time ago, 79, 70, 81. The lawyers in Ghana, the Bar Association was checking the policy makers. The first time they said the lawyers are that. Bar Association are that. Nobody is checking anything. Bar Association is not commenting. This may be a more legal conference. Bar conference in government should check. That's what they are saying. The lawyers are in bed with the politicians. But not how they talk. Makofi Kwanti any point, and then I'll come back.
One of the biggest problems that Ghana CC, yes, we have this group of fraternity. I will offer one lawyers.
I beg your pardon.
But fraternity, a profession, so
I have a reason to say I'm one fraternity. Please say profession.
This program if you continue with that.
He has withdrawn.
Profession. We have a group of people offer one lawyers will aid no bet in criminality in Ghana.
But that would be unfair. That is implying criminality. That is implying criminality. That's a criminal issue. It's criminal. You don't have any evidence to substantiate a criminal ingredient. We should not say it on that's unfair. You the honey flow. Criminal offenses.
Let me qualify.
No, Kofi, me say there are two words now we usually a criminal offenses in our criminal act. Because we don't have the ingredients. Besides, I have to in your court where we can prove criminal ingredients. Mr. Kofi, only free.
Okay.
Very well.
So
I
will not allow you to talk down the lawyers.
Mr. Lawyer, me pacho top was in it.
He's doing it. What should I know? Yes, I did.
Was there not who impugning intention? You are not in his head.
He has done it on 3 occasions, and
lawyer. He has withdrawn it, and that shows that it's not intentional.
One of the problems I have Ghana is say, so who's uncle free? I will throw on lawyers. Near why and say,
I'll have to.
He's just being sarcastic into trouble and not yet defamatory. He's just identifying. It is not a lawyer. Group of lawyers and not yet derogatory.
Lawyers in your question will be kutupa so uncle Boko.
He's not.
This is how you represent your clients in court. Sana will represent 2 clients for court in lawyer.
How do you mean? How do you mean by that?
No, I'm saying, sir, take your time and listen to the
fair hearing,
but not take your time and listen to the facts. Because we are living in Ghana.
You are attacking the profession, and I don't like it.
Ghana. Now, lawyers are Ghana are caught up in a fear. Now, my friend is a process. Now, process are what you're involved in Nina. I say we're protecting Kofubia where criminals who are Ghana. And I want to
and I know right. I their duty. So I don't say it's a duty that
no. It's not your duty. It's not your duty to protect Nkrofo where you're criminals. It's your duty to your duty to represent them.
Even if represent people. Criminal until proven guilty, and everybody is entitled to representation. Constitutional
listen to me. If you're more media is too technical.
Process and I say.
Anyway, what if one hour Tiasifa? Nan America say, me a president, some group of professionals to work from lawyers. As I say, because if let me tell you something. Near my cost to Ghana now, no blame process of your friend and constitution. And the policy makers are 1 year when you may wouldn't him say 1 year when you may wouldn't him so be to say where we are 500,000 anything or Otian America say unbelievable for him to think say 78 charges were the Bible Mame Bako because Uncle no or no client anchor there's no way or still say there's no way Uncle Masaba. What he say? Because when you come out the befaso, and so my meno, and I be can say, and so where we are Sikano, intina, what to me finding the guilty for 78 charges. As I said, all them more than 100 years. Now, if you young attitude to criminality, no, say, by haphazard, I say go be near di na nkrofo ba na won school a won akọ ni ade no say justification is say yakosua emranity me ye adwuma no they are protecting criminals hardcore criminals and nothing no man na ye
but they are not criminals until they have been proven so and before they no they need representation and how did that like you see America
na American incident
you're a criminal until you are convicted.
Let me tell you something. One of the biggest problems are near war. Main when they say BBI no America say a standard. We call the eastern part of the world we call Malaysia, Singapore, China, the idea.
Now say Vietnam last week your sentence will be to death.
Then thank you. The way one will behave and will deal with one criminals, and you say na what by Wester. They think say, we are lawyers, represent criminals. No, they get away with murder. What do you say? This nonsense has got to stop. You but see a fixed criminality in Ghana. So I say, Jai, school what they call lawyer, what could dear to the Dinkrofo get away with it. Because yes, sir, if the criminals will be protected and we will never.
So, because say, the quad to be so becoming Mkofo Bebrea. Yadi ama kokota ya convicted wrongfully convicted. And to
Totally
any
accept.
say yadi attempt to be so no kokota ama lawyer they are representing no. And I
That's
hope
not what I'm
president, I hope lawyer say represent you biana.
That's not what I'm saying. Now, American is said to say, Mamia, or no one representation, or no funny attorneys, and the attorneys to co-represent now one man the charges of 78 are what fine Nina guilty. Or no if you all we need is one.
No, coffee got to one tomorrow. She denied, she pleaded guilty in all the charges. So
she pleaded guilty.
She pleaded not guilty to all the charges into one jam to.
We'll see. No, but no J2 must say 500,000 or the command one gas station.
Okay.
Now the command will fight. If you no or catch you be say, in fact, check him remi. And why no as a tank what and why no your grounds for life imprisonment for me? Because you represent a state institution. What the check will be uncle disburse, non fanya na ejuma, no or return the check na wuso uncle first sika na emreo, or the sika na buy so I fanko. I only need one conviction. Say, one find me guilty on one charge, as a sort of them 100 years. Because he can take his attitude.
Even when the law doesn't say that, because it may kind of offense not 100 years. It's just to be arbitrary. No more than 100 years, even when the law doesn't say that.
Our constitution here, 1992 constitution, a bogus constitution. It protects criminals. And untina NDC and NPPR for when dia wonga bogana kronga say yedeka 840 billion cedis no. And untina any institutions be functional Ghana no. And untina ye won crofo sebe woni adwini bia wode ye oman na niama pa wo man no ma wode wie sika wote ti Dubai no ne abrochi ni baabia uko wie sika your friend Safo nonte Boston wo tua woka Ghana Parliament, what a Boston. Then went to me. How many people were ye parliamentarians, were ye ministers, I said, what Ghana, were ye Juma, what ye Abruti? What kind of constitution is that? Walk of what wine ya said much Nanquan, Wobenya lawyers, Yan Waba, Abe represented one. Lawyers should be ashamed to say what represent criminals or be a no, but I mean, I take offense.
Kofi, I mean to us, and he said they are never criminals until say a convict. And you need representation. You are entitled to it.
That is what it says in the book. So
it says the same thing in U.S. Constitution. It says the same thing in U.K. Constitution.
Forget about the U.S. Constitution. Yeah, say young man, yeah. As I say, you use common sense too. In conformity on why you're dear Buneman.
As you come to common sense, they say, yeah, they are some to be so everyone go to jail.
There be common sense. Common sense, they say. Obia we minister 10,000 cedis a month, no. Wouldn't to mean sit down 2 million cedis. I wouldn't to mean chile hawa. Wunye wisika. Because whatever be a minister, no. Low be any hono my case. Disclose what assets. Now you improve. Obi honoma or disclose the assets in the positive. Say if you me Kofi Granting, person me a president. Me draw papers to say Kofi Granting me what $10 million. Answer Crown ma could be president because me kwa me say first year and say me could we 10 million. Obi and to me misame. So electoral commission and to me evaluating any due diligence in who say ministers EP awafa wono woni kobo woni. And so 2 years per once you see Adam what cast what was say and no harm. Proving guilty, co-prove the guilty. Who can you facts when Nadia could prove the guilty? On the Crawford, what line is to now? CEO, any CEO, one now couple wrong. You see, it's in American say, listen, you per se, you have more or man Ghana ye. And you may be one message say, if system noom. It's our process. Because process of the lawyers no protect people who are potential criminals and criminals. Okay. Let's say if you want. That's my point.
Okay, I like where they're not there, but I'm getting your point to say because of the radical nature, air party be protect your mind, and lawyers should come on board. So be a best site for infraction. Be say they will not
represent
the person.
That's fair. That's fair. So we're presenting, but if you never call to Krampo, opening when you say, did we not have the facts? Opening way, why have a system? What be postpone? I reschedule this about for forever. Now, if you go, what you made they were here. Nipa ba he na abokron when NDC, nipa ba he na abokron wo MPP, PDS schedule.
Why you made a couple of judgments in that case, Mum? But it
never comes to fruition. It never comes to fruition where people are jailed. What should nipa abokron one okay say Attorney General's office can say $3 to $4 billion every year. There is a paper trail to Sikaya in the 32 years of the Fourth Republic. If at the low side of $3 billion, and 96 billion, and then we turn around and go to IMF for $3 billion, we should be ashamed and embarrassed. That's what my point is.
Okay.
What kind of people are we?
Mm-hmm.
And we sit there and we tickle ourselves and we laugh and say we have lawyers who are going to protect people who claim that they are guilty for crime. Come on, are you kidding me? This nonsense has got to stop.
Okay. But you said I don't know, so what's in frustration? I said, I coffee granted per se, but like generally, Ghana, people are kind of frustrated. Say, as a system, no, you win one. Obi a oye ni petitu a wa abemu okoye bonia na emrano ase man ho ebon ho man plead really a okay nipa bebre omo kontomero afo ne bidiero afo bebre omo nim plead no po na komako akoye akọ take advantage of the plea bargain atemi ayekan yi but onipa ni a politician or a titru bi or office bi na say the law kind of that is the perception. You know this perception is not something that lawyers say they don't know. Bar association will raise this issue. That is why the legal principle says that justice must not just be there; it must be manifestly and profusely done. It shouldn't be done under the carpet. It should be manifestly and profusely now. Say there the more be and the concerns of coffee granting raises the concerns of the general public. Say, Emrano favor binum, AJ binum, I animal farm.
And yet the correct. Emrano.
Are you saying you don't have any evidence, any trace of this? Something that even bar association called residue.
Maybe. Emrana ye ma Ghana for no. For ubia. Uso bi ko wi akontomiri. Na ye dina kotum. Se wodu begina quarter. Ye bisa judge be bisa se o lawyer we. Impre be so ni lawyer. O bitimi bisa se yem pe lawyer e ma wana. Ye wo legal aid lawyers handle issues like in Ketwe BC. Lawyer
amu say legal aid. Me no na legal aid.
Yes.
No for cry.
Just say the omodos. Enti omo say ye be bohu dewuro amamanfo ati ase se ukọ ye unya aban amania nya aban asem aban amania ukọ court na ni sika be fa lawyer ye wo aban lawyers wo ho a ana say ye lawyers aban tua omuka umbetimi aboa wo ama wasem no yedi dia uka so a big man and I say or a politician say o was kana say oba ko hwe the best lawyer na so ni no or be defending one one asem na nukure o muni say lawyer bia enten lawyer bi say emran obi anim obi nim we a obi su nim we sana law tie e na law su enya ade a obi ti law yenti. There's no wrong answer in law. So enti ebia na wu nim no bi su nim enti wo ka say o media me minister na me kwakofa legal aid lawyer on say that me boa me. You be surprised. But you no kura no wabin ana so nim ni o ye ne chen ebia private lawyer na o kwakofa no Nti ewo ho nim na nipa enim. Ewo ho nim na nipa enim.
Yeah, but there's a perception. They say there's a perception that, and not just perception, but there's a thinking. Say then I could be quite frustrated and say, "Lord, me favor binum." Ebi na me site atosi and the ma. I think atosi and case started a crime. Me a video where say we should be angry. Say Ghana, ordinary people nya asemo. They don't even tell you about plead you. I want plead you.
And I make a child say, "Sir, is saying na ewo ho." Enye lawyer for ene ye kwa abontin akokobo dawuro say unya asema ye say ni se uti ye na won sabeka lawyer bi dia obekire wo say ye ni say ya enna ebia asutwe ye de mama ebeba fem
Nina nka krono no enka krono no
mra ya hyehyɛ enye ye na hyehyɛ enye lawyer for na hyehyɛ enye lawyer for na hyehyɛ
But that's say if there are loopholes in the law, lawyer for him loopholes e what law him.
Call them loopholes.
Oh, lawyer say any baby.
Why would you call them loopholes? Na obia ye see wo ye kire wo se wakobo krono mi fa se wakofo obia ponchi na se wudi tum animanim won na ye de kokota na se wudi tum a se ye be ma 2 years a ye te so ebia be ma a year and a half nye lawyer for na hyehyɛ ye mra da ho ye ne sa se de be ya e be ma our friends saying yen judiciary no and a judicial system I run faster me waste sika so it is any man a idea omudi ba de baba boa sabi ye na ekura no ebi kura say
lawyer enya no ne ye ka enya no ne enya process enya accelerating legal process in the ye ka say more advising crofo to represent their cases in court in a different way and map one more look favorable to the judge and you reduce one sentence no and on the year
na enya no ho asema na mi kirekire mu and na mi
appointing to the ono
I me so appointing is an say dudu na meba dudu na aya no mo fili obi a
lawyers no dudu na mo pa appointing.
Please stop that I wouldn't countenance that in anymore. Please stop it. I wouldn't like to do that. Please
get to the subject ayeka
Niamika ko sie ni say omo dudu na gidi say obi wi ade ketewa aya se mpa ko ye didi ko je echen obi owi sika kese ya na so obi obokro no kese e na make say nia wa wi ade ketewa na so wanya abama ne ketewa no ai obeko prison no e bia na sa legal aid ya make ho asemi kran yan kan kire no so okokota ese okokota ne ka say udufo na so udibim no bi judge ko bi say so lawyer we wo lawyer so enye yen lawyer for any ye kokko gina ka say we lawyer yeah we can do that, it's not our job but judge ni bi be say wo lawyer we lawyer okay yen pay lawyer ma o be bi be say sa obi o ka say dey bi me metimi adi masem.
Yeah, but no, the issue now you raise is there's a perception say emrano e favor binum en favor binum.
Oh, there be that one
binum.
I don't agree.
Wow, that's unbelievable.
Ordinary person be what in feature be a full soldier be or baby. I did 78 charges aboard one. Do you think that in court no court would have agreed is any punishment or guarantee? Dialysis, quiet money, quiet dialysis, emra. Would the court have agreed?
Oh, why not?
To the extent I want to go and broach it. Ordinary person, I want you be so want to go and broach it.
Na so onipano aka so person kwa broach na so kohwe ho yare. Why not?
They say there are so many cases. I even my one case baby was caught. Me a court reporter no. Everyone a huge case in stealing. Then to me Jenny passport. Restraining the person from traveling.
That in itself tells you how failed the leadership has been in Ghana for the last 67 years. Adenti, I didn't say okwa breaching na kwa hwe. Ye ni hospitals for Ghana ye
Let's
na ye.
not digress.
But
Let's not
say their
digress.
personal
No,
choice.
no,
You
no, no,
bet me
no.
about say Kofi. You bet me about say. Say
Let's
now
not
me ni
digress.
kunu ho.
We
Na ne ma
lawyer,
ho.
we are not digressing. The point is say obi ani wa ye chi no e wo New York and Singapore or kasi or Africa be hwe no ho. Inti ade na ye dey ko abrochi ko hwe ho because the point I'm making, the point I am making is say if the health systems were working at par, ewo Ghana, anka lawyer biakra imu biakwan say kwa abrochi ko hwe ho na bra, but it's an accepted fact to say your healthcare system no you know and yet up to standard inti obi ka say it me man excuse meboa.
Yeah, no, I mean, yes, I know they're true, yeah.
And I may kind of say that in itself not a problem. Because who we are sika, now we are guilty, and this is a mouth kind cry no free room her. But if you
how would you know say Nipano? How would you know say in India somewhere? I better than what we say Nipano or you guilty.
And I'm saying now free now what say you the charge a ball.
Yeah, the charge ball. I know you say why you TNE. Yeah, the charge ball.
Lawyer, my point that I'm making is say yeah, the charge a ball no. And no, as I say, your qua bruchiri, our coca hono. Wo cast a woo bruchiri, qua between our represented Mwaji and asylum. The MMA can say, they say, no,
one can't just
may say, I've never said that. What per se, tie, Cassani. Now your lawyer, tie facts ni.
No, what's it? Listen.
May say, who can say, who bet to me up. One can say, who bet to me, say, who representing a. There's a way crow between Enya asylum.
Me see. Me and the lawyer. I know how.
I know what I'm making.
Hold on. Me used to say me and the lawyer. And me to my me faswa meet me amanenya asylum.
And one I'm making.
And then one I work on.
Okay, good. Okay, granted. What correct me, Matthias here? The American. The point I'm making is say anke ye wo a healthcare system ewo ha. Obia wako ye say we under you say ebia ye the asema to so a won't mean fi krom ha say nko ba bia say wo kwaje ayaresa if you say ye wo healthcare system ebetumi ahwe wo ha. The point I'm making is say wako do abruchire if indeed it so happens to say you're finding it not or you're guilty question if you are crack ya ye nyanka ho asem ne say after 10 years, no, kwako dem no sika no yen recover you, and no cry a bigger problem. Wako di wa abrochiro say dey yen recover yen ka sika no ho asem kra. If I'm waiting for you say you Mr. Lawyer say this say sika no ho na de be 500,000.
I'm not sure whether that is illegal because law court, the criminal court, they almost sentence we are almost sentence no. I don't know sure whether I don't know so okay say the judge didn't make a provision be say yeah retrieve sikano and be say did the judge say anything like that
me who be biasa but the woman is
thank you very much.
Hold on say o man feel say say omobu enyu so 10 years now okay OJ Simpson case.
Me kai pa.
What kind of criminal on he
was not guilty.
Yes. And then after what happened?
I'm filing civil wrongful death, civil case against him.
Inti say Omani Fili say ebia 10 years in Israel still there are so many ways that they can do.
Yeah, but lawyer.
But issue no raising no ebe say when the state is not interested and you are leaded to that fact with the interest of the state, the willingness of the state to prosecute the matter properly and retrieve the money, which should be the ultimate. Yeah, third world country, if you have criminal issues involving corruption and causing financial loss, we are more interested in prosecution than say meanwhile, the money is what we need. See, so what is the interest of the state in prosecuting this matter and returning the money to the chest, which is public funds? What is the because Donald Trump the America only is Canada or mining America. That's the issue. They are pushing him to bring the money back. So what is the interest of the state? No, state not prosecuting him, bringing the money back.
Just if I say ye chuna ye so ye do kotum ni adia na obiara fi enso no efia the investment amami this sika no betumi aye. No, it's going to be worth for her to go to jail for 10 years for that because Obaba back, while realizing a couple of 100,000 CDs more, I can't say 500,000. No, this is because Ono when said may sacrifice 10 years of my life. Because best in your parole account into 10 years, the baby 8.5 and 8. Obaba out after 8 years, no, now maybe 700,000 at the whole chain. And yet, why in 7 years, 100,000 each year, on cut your pay? So, the key thing is that forget about the sentence. And yeah, I'll go with a 2-year sentence, but give us 100% back money. No, yeah, sika, and you'll be on Kamwasem. My betina hanum na my where you process mama could that jail, mama the parole like where did wa me oh yeah, you see can the obian Kamwasemo. If yeah, what kind of system is that?
Okay. Well, but Kofi, lawyer is just a private lawyer who has nothing to do with the case. Because of tension, he didn't know good, but he has nothing. Only the lawyer for the lady, only the lawyer for any of the accused persons.
I don't have anything against him. I don't have anything against
frustration, because we are all frustrated with the system, no, any the lack of work, the work.
If my only problem is that
Attorney General,
my problem, my frustration with him, and he said all can't share and said somehow the NTS said there is a process. Are you kidding me?
But what do you expect? Who you stock exchange? Stock exchange? You defend it because that is your profession. That's all you know.
Debbie, wait, chrono near come.
No, but when on Channel said that because there's a process too. In the court, there's a process. Whether the process is 100% or not, there's a process.
If you and yes, our process in America, your car, yes, Ghana, no, if any are starting to enter your boss, gradually, we will get to a point where, sir, and your way will be able to do it well. Baby, a person or Ghana, na Ghana, Tumpono, Obia, ye. Okay. Anytime they train 5 years, 10 years, and Sani are correct.
Okay, but if you didn't know expect it on can, online and on can jump up some coffee to an answer. I'm going to Burkina Biani and Niger, Biani. That's what he would say.
He doesn't have to say anything. He cannot back these criminals up. Say there is a process in Tiantoya Boise. If you don't have anything better to say, shut up.
I don't think mental was it, and you are not being fair to him because he works with the system. He works with the process.
The system
process. No.
If you
don't have to can say because as a lawyer, no. On to me, can say yen subvert constitution.
If you listen to me, main can say on can say yen subvert constitution. Dear me can say okay. I know I accept the system not saying you bet me a change, you know, and next year decided to see a change here. But more can say somehow no America for taking 200 years in Tino, a process be a toy of Boise and Sunny are correct.
Is he not allowed to is he not entitled to his opinion though? So on your opinion, no. Is he not entitled to his opinion?
He's entitled to his opinion. So, but the American kind of say, Ghana. You can't represent Ghana and say the war cannot because
you need to say Ghana, but he's entitled to his opinion. He's entitled to say he has that right to say that. In any case, Kofi, because I understand that I'm trying to look for the full judgment. We must see if you don't say that the judge made he said season assets. Me meeting your wholesale. The BB I mean now humbly admit me really honor because I read the story up to a point because I have other things to fix
this problem. Yeah, what big problem with Ghana? Me and you won't see any problem. Corruption and Asemba Kwan lawyer can say yentoye boase na yentumi mfa. Let me tell you. Me person obana me kasa asem we kire no ote asem we. Fefi afa no to so na me kasa.
No, you have changed him off. We have changed him off because he kept protesting say attacking the profession, and you feel uncomfortable.
If you are there uncomfortable, only client. If you are my cast anyway, the in the nipa ewu because of corruption. The doors saying a nipa one more corrupter lawyers need protected one more. So okay say criminals no so ever writer metiasie, but on tiasie say the people who are being killed and disposition in our society because of criminality of some pennyful way no affecting more people saying so few people now more protecting no some me I could do MASLOC 500,000 plus whatever whether on ne assistant CEO no sikara woman dino more people are going to die than so 2 people now you don't go to jail a total of 15 years no. Say better 15 years and 10 years and 5 years. More people. Yeah, and say, yeah, well, a friend saying dialysis machine, your dialysis center will Kolebu, Yenisika. Yeah, and the $40 million of drugs, Abesi Temahabwa, yen to me, na Nipakodi, a drone better, yeno, yes, I could dan and say, oh, my Sikani and Fanny, if yes, what, Sakis,
yeah,
you, na Yenimunyan san. Muntie dia make any ye. Ya be masa mpanyimfo yi amasa nkrofo ya get away with murder. Munim se nipa na wo mu wu ne edo so sen sa nkrofo ya ye protect wo mo no. Munim se monya sa analysis no. E dey me kan kire mo. Nti se lawyer ba na obeka se oh wo mo were right nti people are dying because of criminality.
Yeah, but Kofi, I think that the point and lawyer person emphasizing it, the pressure no. Before I was here because your policy makers, the politicians, they determine the law of the day. No, but see 22 hours. I tell me all patch they say, yeah, shamra. Yeah, Lord, you will be some not the back. Yes, so you might hear anything about defending, which is a right that accrues to them as citizens.
We don't have a problem.
Any of before policy makers, no, I'm on a year and she say no. Law, no, so say law, no, that's this point. I do not see where he's coming from.
If you were a prostitute, now say you man now we as a prostitute now do you can justify the 100% say Kofi man koye prostitute shina me nyesika enhwe me ma enye, but that doesn't mean say I am morally right. And no na me point I mean making no say yes you can justify it say when yes one koye prostitution and when yesika enfa nhwe ma because I say when you aduani but it doesn't make it right. And that's the point I'm making to lawyer. No justify.
But no is dealing with legal issue and not morality. Because morality any law be emu. Court law no more can nobody talks legal morality there. Except sugar that the case a court and case of public morality in public policy.
My example in terms of so paradigm, but men can say legal any moral and I may compare to no there be the me can say.
Hello, Kofi.
Because Obi Korea Banchi, Eden Nunya 10 years. Obi Korea Koko, Eden Nunya 10 years. If ya now what Korea 500,000 who were brutally and yet Yano Messi, if ya mammy mammy do Ghana or be fallied asylum. What now? Yet the case no crab ira. Into the Korea Banchi because of a common or come intino, yet Nico Tum. Come on, and what animal defend the law and say the law no any partial. Any partial. And yet then as our law in your partial. Mommy and cano crow. Mommy and cano cray.
I think you have a point. These are the frustrations. These are the things that we talk about. And I know about the education Martin Pebo or more Friday you for compensation against the state. Too many. You had no 8 years. Wrongful conviction for defilement. Me one no more court records, no more mistake in the recording, no, and no more sure the wrong thing the boy no kotumu. So there's another case at Bessie, and also say I didn't kotumu wrongfully convicted 13 years. I feel over 10 or no compensation. Yeah, I want person lawyer say why does it appear to see why does it seem say some of when you actually here for or moment be papa be a moment do or masem near they no them. But any penny any particular be or sika kakra obetimi afford a good lawyer. Not just already waiting me off a law no they to charge no. But the way you know, one to me, one nisika on the lawyer crano. Court appointed lawyer. No. Legal aid for cases they go most of the time back court because cases they go so.
Now, or Tiano Moka said legal aid for paid lawyers, no, one more skill set near pay on court.
No. Skill set near pay that they are overloaded. Cases go almost so do. Skill set near pay.
Listen, the time and effort and research a legal aid put to a case, normally, one woman needs to can legal aid. Obia wo professional help any counsel. If you are a lawyer, ni ntiare na only mediate ni. Woman wo sika no, o ka say my court assigning a legal aid. They pay top dollar. Canadian pound back I want say I'll go to Washington and get the top lawyer. Abua papu di na chi o ka say yes, lawyer Washington they open the best lawyers in the world. Urefi, you pay what you get. Representation on yana any usika. Mebo aka kire me. Woko jina judge ni mukura mpo a wo law firm a we part of no eno no crash shave off yes ni bi kra ansa na asate adi wasem di asem na wo ken wonim you know so
it's not supposed to but say no can also no can I say no can say your friend saying nipa ne ba ubejina court is the level of knowledge na wo de be ye case no nti no ma bebre ka and o san can be kan say udimi na okwa because that is some fa enye law no pe no mo de ma judgment omo ye ma bebre o ahoke ka o de abejina court udi wonu ho ana unu ye hwe o ne ye ne ade na adi no mo de hwe
wo legal aid no crampo cases ni bi o ho no ma they get to a bridge and they now willing to cross or your legal aid no baka say no baby where do there you have to pay for this service going forward me bo aka kire me
say empacho ka ho ni bi mu
they say legal aid no cases ni bi o ho no ma depending on the complexity of the case ne bedu baby no baka say baby where do there as we there paid services say wutia. Yes, one represent to court and or refer.
Oh, legal aid and no, they don't do that. Because normally legal aid classification, no, if they be omuni sika, omuni be froka. Omuni sika, omuni be froka, omuni petrol.
Legal aid, I thought they be wohonoma, cases ni be wohonoma. Research anytime I taken into no, you better refer will say baby I do there called fuck another lawyer. And your case
not necessarily just say be a bro, almost not just a case is not say case is not to
that's what I'm making.
But also, you have to
me say, you did rope a call Ghana. You did rope a call Ghana. If you are hoping I'm a bad dom, one kind, we refi say, wow, straight. I will say something that way.
That's how one qualify for legal aid, Kobe granting. Legal aid, checking income bracket to say the way in America. No, you're checking income bracket and sunny the amount. And don't qualify for legal aid.
And no correct. Let me tell you why. Me back Ghana na me income.
Yeah, but income they check America don't qualify for legal aid. They don't qualify for Ghana legal aid. When you hear this, America Wall Street, so you don't qualify for legal aid.
If you America,
the issues no so. Say Ghana question person be lawyer, but lawyer say was sending a message say yes. Early morning court appointment, you know.
Oh, master,
no, you have to be fair to him because a politician. He's just an innocent, independent private person.
If I'm a politician, maybe a politician.
Yeah, but I say, what the pressure in our system? What the whole pressure in so and then the fault. He's not the bar association president. He doesn't even speak for the bar association. If a body for
now said all represent two women and listen, Ghana for brew if you are wild.
Minimum.
Amunya sad the now, who crowd can't be so your lawyer ni, who crowd can.
Me and to Tobo Mammy. Yeah,
I can see who you to have for you to so I NTRC. Moko said them one market can be race, number of Koya, Mobuya so. Yakuya Banchian and Biako 10 years. Aquano, we are 10 million.
I know it's not fair. It's not fair. I know say they're not many EFS legal aid, and that was the essence. The advocacy said we need proper funding resources for legal aid because a NIPA be dance and according to legal aid research, NIPA wants a woman to move 51% or more without a conviction. This is why I make my phone if you know because only
500,000 or the Diabruti, Akotna, so call you more than a year. Or call you more than a
year.
Yeah,
about 2 years, 2 years, crab, yeah.
2
years about.
I did see, I said 2014, yeah, or 2024. If you are 10 years more, I see year 2014. 2014, a case ECU, if you are Mahama time.
Yeah, but so almost started case when MPP for never power, no started prosecution. No. Yeah.
We didn't want to if you or yes, I did win no 500,000 or the got to investment more. Can you imagine the return by now?
So it will be a lot of money.
When Yansakrono, or Ben no phone for Sasa or Yari, Korean life would do a brutally wire from not the two. Now, Yanso, ye brewaha. Ninsu Yansi can ye dear money break no. Now you become say it would take time for the
but because maybe reading messages in the name of joining almost share or move views about you know maybe in the link to one them too so bet me I share views now and one me the most important thing I think before I even read the messages for instance if you bend if your why is if you are defending this crowd this is so clear which happens most of the time sometimes the end presenters what we do what we call the devil's advocate. It is sometimes at the end of it's part of a Juma. You play the devil's advocate just so that Nipano Mutien will also get a balanced view. Because I need your COVID granted baby, as if I'm supporting him. I need to play the devil's advocate and let you see this side and also see that side. It's part of a Juma. It's not that we're defending anybody, but it's that just the way normally hosting of programs, that's what it means. Oh, yes, so that you can also give it some kind of balance and fairness to the topic now you're discussing. Because like I'm saying, lawyers be anyone there is no lawyer before court to say wakoji skedi. It's a private person who is before court. And I'm a legitimate job. A human or so I take it oath to talk, which is to represent everybody. Represent everybody, so the person just doing their legitimate job. So sanity, abuche. Why? Maybe I can't messages in back. More importantly, this issue here. I can. Do you think the Attorney General should have some boss to start a civil case against Sedinam saying he retrieve it? You can just Sedinam all the people who have been cited here retrieve it.
If it's so needed because. At the end of the day, Nipa no cry will punish it and bring any benefit to the people. You see, canon ye here because I see a building on me. If you say, Mammy, who says here, Sikano, Sikanaira case, I dead. As I see a GSC can hear the building on mine. It is a saying, as I know you, Ubia Ban, will be a crack. Yes, ye near Tafri case, no na case naira, maybe I had not 2 years, 3 years, the amount of parole. Now be hunana nipa ya man parole no bought tennis. I send the shots come out or bought tennis. Well,
oh Lord, or bought tennis account.
Or bought tennis. Well, you just say so parole into or yeah, near say yeah, the bracelet at 29 said unreported every ABR too long. I said, just imagine say what America yama bracelets. Akotena ho say o de tem bia ye hwe bia no ye me hu ba bia on nam ye bracelet ato uncle na wo de nam krom na wo ye shopping now just say enye fair we need the money to build this nation and in penifo ye di nya ene krono akese a wo mo ba ye de bion be bokrono ye hu ano na si case na ye and if ya and I take this thing personally because with him, if you're one of the things I'm gonna perform any process, we take so much. Omana ye lawyers and kwa inti boni bia obedi ubenya lawyer be abake up. And for their fason ye di boni. We are ye lawyers. The chrono taxi driver crown and lawyer, pocket lawyer. Who tell no your lawyer. Who can't become right to see we are with you at Temaka.
Yeah, president achievement for the lawyers na doors,
No, but we can't listen. We have to have systems, but the process no because it's time consuming. It's and it costs us money. So the first order of business I say thank you they say yenye sika no back. eno ne hu hia me ya ji sika ni wia now based on sika na ya gene kra na should be the basis for negotiating the term because the sika ni na ba ya eno enye se okogina court na wa hye ne maxi your friend maxi can sa tare na ya ma me no me hye ne your friend maxi no no wa hye no the belt abom no any tino conservative no on mon makeup ojina no any homobomobo na debi fasikana bra na enye the basis of your conviction so but bisikana sem de who says if ya obi ankan yo ya ka siko wi aye no so as far as say you be retrieve say sikano na de besha system no de obi anka
eno say me put as a question no
ena lawyer no say owo adwuma ye o channel pa wadwane ko no so obi anka so inti me I don't ha me say obi a we wi sika bi afia wa na kan 3 to 4 billion accountant general ka se de bi a year every year imagine say if you are in 32 years you nya 50% of say sika na baka a year 43 there be a 96 divided by 2 well inti that is a 48 billion. Hey, if you
it's a lot of money.
It's serious money. It's serious money. Now, your corny akojina, your cobrin woods, ne yakoji 3 billion. How? For 17 times your cobrin woods. Inti say ye to me figure side way out to cry now the fear ya say sika echo towards corruption. A year obvious $3 billion every year no cry no. Yen to me plug this a leak no. Say sika no kwa be IMF amaye every year be I benya 3 billion and if you am
yeah, you have a point. Yeah.
I didn't even focusing on that corruption no near plugging leak no.
Okay.
Why
Very
don't
well.
we focus on that?
Well, I get your point about retrieving the KBR, at least in this case, in this particular instance, there's a conviction. But in convicting there, we can say, but when there's a conviction, that's a final judgment.
You don't need a conviction. What Fesikano?
No, but say you need a conviction to prove say what Fesikano. Yes, I will cast Obia Fesikana on the basis of what? On fire, there might be a conviction. Just say yes, Wafa.
If we go to a conviction, you will get convicted and you will get jail term, full term. Intermedia manka media me penise anka wono ye te say de bia kaneno busuafo say efie na say panyi bi ko repu akola bia ye ba na ye beka omo tena won ye hihye nkunwa na obi aba na ye akɔhye wo makɔhye dem no maka won beba no na say obia come to him because there's been there was a charge and there was an acceptance that wrongdoing be akosunti ebusuafo ate wo ho ase so te ase ye mfa court ne aka no kwa anti no wa
traditional method be to simplify the process.
What you say because ye dey court there's a cost factor involved. That extradition idea it's going to be hundreds of thousands of dollars to do that and yet especially if you get a whole one more law system involved to say extradite so inti ye kana wa hanom na udi sikana fabra na ye mfa hwe ye ka ye wapene so say krono ukoji wo gas station wedi fa okay fan fabra nkai na ye be ma payment no etua in 5 years na till say ubetua be wie no ubedem dem de ubedem but wutua wie ya pena o sentence so ya teswa eno no kra be in sentence o say sikana ko fabra now where they sikana yanka ho asem bia o ya say wo koda now, say Sikano,
well, to be fair, judgment, I went back to read it when somebody made reference to it because the first time I didn't read the whole thing, but the judge made orders about say a mobile attaching properties need be to offset the costs involved. See, the judge didn't really.
The properties has the properties been valued.
No, this is just when they have first conviction. It will kickstart another process altogether. So what I say, it's another process, and they can appeal, and it will start a whole legal battle. At the end of the day, no one shall cry. Some lawyer can quash it, injunct it into. That's why your frustration with the process, legal process.
Article Kobleme defense. What you mean? Article Kobleme defense.
Maybe what you are belimpe, hold on, and you Kobleme. If you know what belimpe.
Oh, but now wouldn't go you say me. Oh, that was you Kobleme.
Okay. Okay, I know. Say he's got a couple of houses, but me him if you I believe in. Clive, good evening. Clive, what do my microphone is so?
Okay. What's the next? So I mean, conversation it's really informative. I know say a lawyer no, I mean, and our kind of he's trying to say what he's meant to do. Say lawyer, they work for school. This is what you're supposed to do. But the Mr. Kofi Kranten Kano, says you see a Ghana baby you do no. It's the process no. The process in the process, but it's not helping. Oh, it's not helping because Obinim says so over $100,000, right? Not a process no. A man like it was going to help him to kind of get away with it. That's what they're doing. You see, as I could see Ghana no. Sabi sanka mimi wo hoi sanka me so me to one sabi nim political way na me na sabia metumi after kebi na me say process no, you know, it's just a limit 2 years. The money is not going to be retrieved. Why not go through that process? You see, a Ghana baby do no, it has to be radical. Yes, process no whole, but it say it's like everybody knows the system is there. Lawyers no omu yo majimo. But what Kofi Kranten is saying say if say Ghana you bet to say or my yes, there's a process, but process you himself how process near you go through no. It's helping the criminality. Why don't we accept say Ghana no you you know what, we not say deeper with this guy, but there's a process or there's a loophole to be used to because and that's not helping. That's not helping at all. I mean, process the process is process, but Ghana no be able to see no. There's nothing like process right now. Of course, we're not going to.
That's also making it say the effort or the policy to correct some process errors no. And you know said you
yes
can change the law and say the female all criminal cases, corruption cases, and causing financial law no. You may know 2 months. Okay, say President Kufuor fast track high court. Into parliament a new law say all causing financial loss to the state cases in a maximum 3 months. Also we and in the 3 months, so all the money involved no, it has to be necessarily retrieved.
Sister Fia, also asema okay, but it's waste of time. It's waste of time. That's not what we need. What we need, and you see a bit but the thing is, Sabi, Sister Fia, wouldn't meaning maybe a YouTube since me. Wouldn't pass at some way, Nippon or Fesicano. But we are going to go like due process, and the due process, no, people use due process to actually do criminal stuff, no, because when we say due process, it has its way of turning around and going back into
process and so on. They are also rolling small time a champion other people where obi one a coffano yes suspect so where we are there high can may where we are there about him papa ni abo. So that kangaroo system and these are the things that we fought for, including lawyers, the Bar Association, they fought Rollins. So institutive process. And you catch Rollins, so there's a process. It's the same process. So Rollins did the same idea. Okay,
Sister, it's not about say Rollins or whatever. But the thing is, Sister, Ghana it's evidence, right? But guess what? The system doesn't make it easy for you to point it out. And so I'm going to use it. He's going to use it. And again, we keep going back. Said obi areas Canada, ya finding guilty in Akotuno. Sikano, I am your what I say, Sikana, I am your so I understand the frustration of the lawyer and I understand the frustration of Kofi Kranten. But Sisiano, Ghana, no, Yamati time for a long time. Into Sanya Manema when you know, it's one day, sorry, I feel, and say, but guess what? They've gone through that process, so we don't need to go through that process. So we just have to make sure, say, I don't know, I mean, don't say, I don't know, now, can you said the process, you didn't pass any pay, CK, what cause financial loss, will risk about what cause financial loss. But we use the system and the process, no, to delay it and also to make the person not guilty. When I put in a code, not guilty, because system they say, hey, I did when you say white, but the system says white, it can be between white and one said they are not quiet. I mean, I understand the lawyers they are going to say, but you see, lawyer, they have to help. They have to help in a way. What I say,
I get your point, Clive. I get your point, and I understand your frustration too, because what is the law if the law is not protecting or minor any the citizens and the public?
I'm in Florida. I'm me driver son. I'm in who be. I say, how do you know the mine is? Once I just go to Google and search what it is. There's a real tangible reason why you see what I say. But Ghana, no, I didn't say yes, you know. Say a trash BC has say now. The reason why trash BC and so Ubi Becca say, well, say trash BC, they need tracks on the funny and that, but they can institute something where a trash company or whatever, or better, but you better say, na say Ghana, no, you fat trash near the quaint, you and it's going to bring cholera and this animal. So, I mean, I didn't meet it. I was so frustrated on both sides because guess what? The law is there. We have to follow the law. You didn't say the pay. Not with risk about one man's manages but guess what? Process now, lawyer Nekano. I'm going to use the process because meaning say, guess what? The process is going to help me out. Anya Kran is a better chance idea. You're jelly me request is cano 100,000 and you can invest in Bitcoins or whatever it is. In 10 years time, guess what? I'm coming out with that money. That's what it is. You see, I am frustrated. It's very, very frustrating. I mean, criminality. Ghana. You can tell say if you're a criminal, it's a good thing. Excuse me to say, but if you're a criminal and you are smart, you make it.
You get away with it. Yeah. No. I understand when you know, and make it frustrates me too because they be on because you know. It's the same system that we complain about, and we are not getting anywhere with the system. It's said that mayor comprised much of Kofi Kwanto. Here nearby, they are not able to get the same justice because delay race and any pana from no now Sikano fine and nowhere. It happens, and yes, I will both say it really happens. And yes, Mama Donald Trump, yeah, be another day from away.
Definitely
getting away with the same process. What you say?
Chef, a year I tried to say, I don't know, I forgot what it's called, but so Udi MP minister 4 years,
Yep.
It doesn't even make sense because 4 years after 4 years, and I say, but a process, guess what? It's a process, right? It's a process. And so if I'm someone that idea you me to wanna me by the system now, I'll game the system. It's just gaming the system because the process is there. You game the system, so that's what it is. I mean, Dr. Lawyer Nidia, he's perfectly right because that's what the Constitution says. Guess what? The process say okay, offer scan, that kind of thing. But can or buy or dime back or we see dime 2-3 costing 1 million each. Mind-boggling, it's really mind-boggling. I mean, we're not saying.
I think that somebody has sent a message or say, and the person is making kind of supporting what you're saying or say, this is the reason why Kwesi Nyantakyi was well exposed to the whole world and still walk around trying to go to contest an MP. Again, just to show you, say, system no cancer. But my uncle Paco sees because he kept shaking his head.
I know.
So, oh, microphone. Evident.
Padia Mokodi, my catcher on an operation. I didn't know outside the noise or to be on an operation. I'm Moko, I am yo. As some Padia, Kusinya, a friend, and Padino also in your uncle. Yeah, Clive, as American, it makes sense. So, but the thing is, system. If the system is there, you cannot sidestep the system and do what you think.
Perfect.
You get it.
Yeah.
Everywhere in the world, there is law and order.
Yeah.
I'm missing it there. if you realize that people are taking advantage of the system because you know about dragger, that is why somebody came to your country and told you that institutions must work.
Yeah.
Lifestyle audits. How many has it been is it functional in Ghana? These are the things they are talking about. If some busy MP, another maybe a minister, number than a one, if you audit my lifestyle, the moment I acquire 2 or 3 more houses, you know that there is something wrong right there and there. You just start. You don't have to
Yeah.
wait for me to steal that money before system. I'm going to say.
Marcus.
We need to take it from the roots. The mobile platform, the Amazon, I'm more of a solution person than rehashing the same problem over and over again. I mean, I will back at the man 30 years until we come out with a solution. Until we come out with a solution. Lifestyle audit is there, asset declaration bill, all those things, the American. If we enforce it, because if you go to parliament and they make a law, if causing financial, President go for fast track high court bay. How many people were found in such web? Because when you there, least mistake, or trying and 10, because around that time your system was working, but now people know that the law it drags. Or no, young children do That's the problem.
In this case, whose job is it? Whose job? Because it's Parliament who has the power to change the law. They can change the process. And to them, Parliament, so they are busy with other things. They haven't prioritized this one. Because the asset declaration, if it's enforced though, but the asset declaration law is bogus. Because if you declare, you give a document to auditor general, it's put in a box. So what is the use if I don't know what you had when you came?
That is why we need him. That is why people like Clive could be granting open up the president and I'm ball up dodo because this is where you're supposed to go. Citizen
no, on your citizen of Ghana.
Or a citizen of
Ghana.
I have a citizen.
He's a citizen of Ghana.
More questions to unpaid business. Paddy crime, one of them.
Ghana taxi be a question on to Munkono. He's not intending to come.
He's not
a citizen. I'm telling you, he's a citizen.
We are educating the people. In your way, you have a platform. And I know that people follow Kofi Granting because of BBR representing. For instance, some about legal aid. He doesn't even know how the legal aid system even operates in Ghana. A correcting, but he didn't want to accept it. The man said that the worker there, a law here for. Fine. Say Asamba, more $10,000. Mokok of a top-notch lawyer. Of course, Obia auto to Brazil, only 1,000 citizens, about legal aid. Do you understand? In the developed world, the legal aid and season law when you on practice under normal circumstances, or do 2 fight in case more. But because the person doesn't have that money, then Orca there would be a legal aid by charge. Which country the legal aid or charge? These are all misinformation. They don't have to be saying this.
I think that's not what he meant. I think what he meant is that if legal aid cases don't prolong, they can say that if you need speedy legal representation, you can go to another council where you have to pay. Which one happens? Those ones happen.
That is why we need a lot of lawyers in that country. Because cases no doso. Lawyers in Sudan. That is why.
But even if we need a lot of lawyers and people cannot afford the lawyer, what is the use? That's where Kofi Granting was coming from. That yes, we have lawyers, but we can't afford into another bed then.
Legal aid war. Legal aid war.
Legal aid.
If you tell you, Ghana legal aid no only because systems in Yejuma. Won't you call ye?
Into America there. Oh no, that's not what Kofi Granting said. That one is the government of the day. Your president, they don't resource legal aid.
Exactly.
They don't resource legal aid.
That, how can you be as American president? If you are lawyer, you are going to no. If we resource them, we pay them well. They will do the work. Don't let us level or be book the system is slow. Or started all year and terminal was stopping right there and there.
Then you agree with them. You agree with all of them.
Or started all year when I was stopping because I did what you may watch it. Or casting or asylum, the basic asylum. No. Forget it. Basic asylum for America and US. When you there.
Canada or Canada.
Or Canada, no question. Once you be on question. Canada, but man asylum, I brought him there. She's convicted. Never. See, them some me friend think of one dream because Oduwa can out that's not dream or Tinamoko Kuria what we are one fast and cocoa to put make a sick asylum. We don't do that. Mom can answer.
Okay.
And I
I will tell her that yes, you can have because that was where we ended. Get the money back because
king estimate was an start to asset to do. If you have a new case,
one fan to the simple demo, he able to me attach system no money about asset no happen. Because that's what happened in the Wyoming case. In the Wyoming case, asset no, when they trace some of the assets were no longer his assets. They are transferred, and you can only reverse transfer. No, if you see that it's maybe it's fraudulent transfer. But if it's a genuine transfer, third party, it's a third party without notice.
If you are maybe so some case was starting a bender. What I think is how many years?
I think that 2017, yeah.
Thank you. In 2017, a package them there. No, you could assets or transfer before 2017.
So it could be after 2017. But if it's a legitimate transfer, what transfer?
Remember. Say, embrace Juma. What started with the case? I had a starting with 1 I mean, what Padamia by law. Say, Bibi embrace Juma by law. Say, what convict man, they can go back and come and retrieve it back.
It's not in every case. There's a legal provision offering there, bona fide third party without notice. If the person is a bona fide third party,
it's not in every case.
I go back
It's not in every case, but in some cases.
I go back and say, my sister, if you can, process. It's frustrating. Why process? Because the system, my kind of before conviction or but upon after the class still but my system new
yes, because if the third party not decently legally case she doesn't know that there's an issue involving the property. What she said, the person who has bought it properly. You be able to
only some market they say as say lifestyle audit.
That will only do on Canada, no UK and America. You do all
minimum do there. Say them lifestyle audit and I said declaration laws ni Juma. The moment when you get in a court when you there were then 10. Until then 10 no. Until they be to was maybe yes, it would be that a year to do the into turn transfer and be them. Mom, can I just say?
No, but it's not possible. I'm back with it. That also always happen because until then you are convicted. Your case has nothing to do with your property.
I know, but
it's the case has nothing to do with the properties. And the property half of the properties sometimes are not even their properties. They are leases.
That is the thing.
They are leases. In terms of but or need to there. Document on your
I understand.
Now, property, no, they were all leases.
On a lawyer and a bear now. If you can't frustrating almost feeling because these are some of the in lawyer them now. You push you bring the information if you know. But Kofi Kranti no person opero is sensational into of why am I party no call? Why am I party no call?
He's speaking from Kofi Kranti first sentence okay and there he's an ordinary person.
If
he's speaking like the
Kofi, I remember I sent you an email. I will I said Kofi Otino between Ian and wedding ya only Medan and Cassa, only she or Baba Yamagana, on so bad.
Was a citizen of America. No.
If you're on your personal, listen, don't let's personal. I'm a patch a day.
I'm just saying, like rationally, I don't know rationally. Who will just abandon their heaven? American and obviously heaven, no. American will be allowed, who will just abandon that? Well, that's not Ghana. To come and contest. If you are trying to video, they will need to come and around. No.
Why would you do that? I will guess. No one can say into me president overnight. You know it. You start from somewhere. No problem, you know.
But that's why we're starting from somewhere. And you're starting and you're there. He's still in the process. Don't you even appreciate the fact that he has been consistent? He has not given up. He's not getting anything from this process, and he's still going.
If you have the consistency, we all appreciate the fact that he's been consistent. But in some people, excuse me to say, it's not right. It's not factually correct.
No, I think you can say that you disagree with him. That you have every right to disagree with him. But to say I think that's unfair. You answer this question. Who amongst them is better than Kofi Kranti? He's a Ghanaian. He's 40 years and above, which is the qualification to be president. He's of sound mind. He doesn't even want me to say those things. They have investment in Ghana. He doesn't want because they can sabotage the business. They have investment in Ghana. American passport American passport. Abandon his wife and children to come and live in Ghana. What is different from NDC on your MPP? Why would say he doesn't have anything for us?
Yes.
You started on the right note. I know that you have a different view from Kofi Kranti, but I think that what he has to offer Ghana is up to Ghanaians. Just say that you don't agree with him.
So Obi Kasama, problem Obi Kasama. Woman in Pakona landing way. Remember landing way. You probably know where I was going. We've had people, there are people, young guys, prominent people, they come, they talk, the next thing, before I realize, they are in bed with this same group of people. You get it?
What's that got to do with me?
That is where I'm coming.
Individual.
But
you don't even know me. I
say, calm down.
Before you continue, just admit that. It's your opinion. It's your opinion, and he has nothing to offer. Honestly, I think that because he said a lot of things that kind of cry. Why can you maybe be someone one can answer some cry out of the times he's been on here?
No.
He has something to offer. he has something to offer. Honestly,
the reason I'm academy day. The reason I'm academy day. In some working, brilliant ideas. Kofi, me, I know you very well. I know you. When I finish, I'll send you a message. You'll be surprised how far I've been reading about you and the things that you've been doing. I know. Come on, of course. You are a learned person, you are a big man and all that. But what I'm trying to say is that, my opinion is that people come like this, they get all the support. Okay? Me compare them with them. But yeah, young guy you're organic. Come here plus. Yeah, funny years out. Come here plus, for example. Come here plus. About 1 year. About some one can. See the number of people who started following him. Eventually, where is he going?
But he's contesting.
Exactly. That is but initially, what made your impression be there? That's the direction I he'll be going. I will follow you when I know that you are
to change his mind. Uncle Bagosi,
exactly.
To change his mind too. But at least
that
has not changed his mind.
In America, there it could be. I mean, in my mind, that is how I feel. I mean, me opinion, America.
Okay, I come opinion. Okay, yeah, that's it. For opinion, no, or no, that's not how I am. I'm a different human being. Take me for who I am.
I'm a punchline in 2 minutes. I say, Kasa,
take me for who I am.
No, but I usually don't understand because NPP they talk the same way. And they have even had the opportunity to handle Ghana resources.
For how long should we continue?
For that.
You are personalizing this. Personalizing.
This is personal because the Ghana have to make personal sacrifices to come. His wife. He has abandoned his wife to come. This is a huge sacrifice. I'm telling you. He had nothing.
Yes.
He had to take literally the seat from the plane for his room. But he came.
If you are
he has been consistent.
Person,
you want to throw him under the bus. Give him the benefit of the doubt, at least.
Yeah. I think that we are missing the conversation right now. We should take every personal person out of it. Let's analyze what he's saying.
Exactly. We're having a conversation. That's why I pointed out to you that sometimes you give me the impression that you don't even know how the legal basis
That's what we do. We can do it.
Let's do action better than
what do you expect him to do at this point with what resources?
Kofi, you can make impact in the life here. Start the impact on people's life. You will not even need to come or sit on radio.
But he's doing it. He's doing it. He got farms and stuff over he's doing it. But he's doing it. Okay. That's I want a personal number. Just because
no. My son, Kofi, your website. I was there. You can somehow who campaign started contribution.
If you support him, you support that vision because I don't think that Rollins any time. When let him show what he's doing. Rollins didn't have to show us anything he's doing. And didn't have to show us that he's got farms. He didn't have to show us that I've built houses or I've opened the company. Vision. All you need is vision. If you have vision, you have the heart. That's all we need. We just need somebody like that.
Papa C has revealed to the whole world there. He's a secret admirer of Kofi Kranting. That's all he wants to say.
And so, if I'm a secret admirer, why don't you want to take my punchline? Kasano does. Yeah, actually,
No, he's
better.
taking it. He's taking it.
Actually, does Kasano.
But
Actually, yes, Kasano. That's mine. That's my point.
Mr. Kofi, one thing that is very vital here and there, I think that you should also bear in mind that it also people like him, Mr. Pakwesi, would also shape certain for the perspective of people. Internet, I think that it's all good. I mean,
because all the things they're saying, before you go, we try to fetch him. Excuse me. There's this young guy or Cheddar. All the things that he's saying, beautiful ideas. Oh yeah, no, could be able to down on phone crap. But just as you able to make but action. Missing there, if you talk less, people buy into your vision. Before you realize you have a lot of people following you. You do the things on the ground without you, the things will talk for you. You don't even have to open your mouth and talk.
But Ghana,
thank you
the people that are talking. Ghana, the people are talking, and if you don't also express your views and see, there are so many people.
But information more
YouTube. There are so many people, maybe thousands of people behind there that wants to very good information over to my account, but they don't have the opportunity here to say it. And the fact that Mema Bahame Kano doesn't mean there'll be a more on he doesn't or she doesn't have a good idea. But it's just that we've had the opportunity because Ghana and Kasa know what Sankasa, nobody is hearing you. You to be a Kasa would be. Obi which you know to calling in now. Nobody's sharing that person. Kofi Kwanse now either information is that data is important. He has to say what he has. And you have to analyze it. That I say. I something like come to us because you I don't know come over but what can we have to receive that data and analyze it. And when you analyze the data, no more than they be on to me, that part you it's like prejudicial. You've already
because here and there it take Kasa, and so people know that the Ghanaians that they want to hear something, so we just tell them anything.
But that's what I
think we get your message. I get both of you your point. The point in there. Lower the talking and maybe be more proactive and more strategic on the ground. Ghana, the way I hear dynamics, like demographic, people draw towards more of what they hear.
But
because it's difficult here, so people draw towards more that. So it's a balance between the two, no? So I get what you are saying.
One more thing, it's Sisi and Ghana, it's not just hearing it. People are analyzing it now. People are, and it's first not people just talk and people hear, but now people are analyzing it now. First, Sebio Obio or T and all T when we talk about exchange rate it's foreign to them. But now because of internet, WhatsApp now, so they actually understand what it is. So the talking needs to be heard and analyzed. Since they're gonna put but it's just that you have to give your information and people are analyzing it. Since people some time ago, no, them YouTube back and forth. But it's because Mr. Quick, but why can't say we are analyzing what he's saying. So we need to hear.
I think the balance between what the two of you are, and it's good for Kofi Kwante is you take all the feedback and you put it into your strategy. And because we have different categories of people or voters in the market. You have those who are strategic, those who hear, those who want to see what you are doing on the ground. You need to appeal to all of them. So all of you have a point. Yeah, all of you have a point. But thank you. Uncle Paco say, I say, thank you, the boys. Clive, thank you, the Florida boys. And the more shake, I grown head. So, if you got any final words, I think Sikano is what people want back.
Papa see tema. Na awala ese a woman number. Na peda minim kasa, brother. Na from the Yama.
Also, better text.
And I text me and kasa na be janum na or the market you girl binazi. Man yadam. And I am not from the Akasa. Aye. The what advice ni na so mafa. If you as I said, and you will be one my sister Ghana. Na if you debia me call outer. If you and your mammy who know na eniso. Eya metako kolibupa because it kinda resets me. Now kwa one more I said you kinda saying I said pick up year 2 actually no your friend a hitch pick up year 2 actually na eno kwa wo no ye kosisa nipa na guma na ye de asi ye de eto no ya hitching wo car so well ye de eto no ball na wo no ne de so na atwe ni asisa nipa na guma akosi wo nti edan me do and I'm saying na de na wo mu kosi nipa pi say obviously unclaimed bodies. So
wow.
Inti unclaimed bodies no if ya Ghana ye din so much say amanfo me fa wo mu fu. So ena government meaning say America ne baby and wo mo ye amount graves are you seeing crofo ne ade but the way Ghana ecosystem no if ya ubeko uko dialysis pa now be nice handsome guys they don't have a life ubeko the next week ne ewu nti efienti wo patch let me say sika amanfo ewie ye ntumi nyi sika back na ye mfa hwe nkole yi say ye health services any food and drug for and out of one more negligence and one more incompetence enuane abegu ye market so ene nsa bitters ye 49 say grade them say come more than 49 types of bitters ne wo Ghana amanfo enum the basis for the bitters no methanol poisonous inti boy see out of hopelessness ye benom na womo kidneys assess near the woman koto da inti just say a vicious cycle of just say na make say a spectrum of poverty any hopelessness and a Ghana for your name because we've been neglected by our government. At then necessary banisa no be 500,000 no be 200,000 no be yes $56 million it could do Bank of Ghana yes say order from above pay ubi nim de yetuama no ni pay efia ntn hayen say ubi a Ghana we an endangered species because efia we are kama who sika bidi what bedu Ghana na wenya accident ena God forbid as I say wunya ambulance na de ko ayaresabia ebedi boni enro as say na maami bi ye ne wo line so say ne maami adam for say onya emergency a as say ye be fan hospital ye say ambulance into 500 cedis ne fan top petrol yes I am fam ye nya ambulance me fa no when onya si ko di tua ye ko du ho no
na
wawu so iti say yet sa nyoma we na say corruption e ba nye say e bia Kofi Kwanti no person kasa bebre ye nim say SSC e take action enuano but to de bia nkofo pi nim nyoma e koso Ghana woko Aigbe town no ne yi a enkola is some form if these children grow up what do you think say one more disposition to morality ebeye if they have no love they don't get any food to eat. One nam form na beer bottles na nature no the bandage atare no any infection. Or yes so callous in their heart to say because when him so bia no. Na sa akola yi ba benyi na wugina alleyway bi na opeso ohwum wo baga no kredua. O ka so be ka say oh we a nice person to your best spell odudua no be bo kon achi a. Onwene ho because sa feeling of love no oni bi. The country is consistently degenerating to a point because the leaders are responsible fiduciaries in my they have neglected their responsibility. And we cannot continue to have this cycle of it's just too much. The pain in yes, Ramo, you see a casa if ya say, oh my about,
yeah. Kofi me that say, I'm the way you know, I mean, say computer no so internet using him so I can say you know what to call there, but he now say and I say we should also stop insulting people near the obi answer and share your opinion. Man confirm be gidi sa scanner or say how can you say you're confiscating for asset when the person has just been charged yen share that and convicted and yenya bo said they na lawyer Nika said there's a process attached to the whole thing. I was the process and so yeah they I was having the madam was a Geoffrey or Bones and then why Godfrey, that's your name, Godfrey, thank you pa Ed Menfo and them Ed Men who message Papa say please I want to join the feed Ed they be I'm send a link no so my apologies why I think me pinny YouTube I think my apologies Ed Menfo because we are dedicated listener they be join here so I'm very grateful to Grace Aqua that's also join here Kevin and also join here thank you so much say Ojane said Achu say yes indeed is a country that court not than a kangaroo court then go for pe and I say omo Ahmed Jibo Ambu or say Ahmed so there who be there me de be there family won attending there mu be ja no na me de attending no imagine 20 years so I've developed an immunity to it but mama na mu nyina ma say me pass that ma obia wo join here thank you we appreciate you I mean, can messages now, but I swear I really appreciate everybody who joins. And she said that Ghana Sika is a stake. Yeah, the bar dialysis for nipa ewu said the coffee crantic and nipa baby woo with the kokolebu because me aunties too and a woo or minua bema who kolebu dialysis fistula no more and sa me kakra mesu hanum say because it's sad that because of near maybe we allow people to just die. It shouldn't be the case. It shouldn't be the case like that. And you know, it was here require bet me divert some of these monies into proper areas. You bet me there is a dialysis clinic cry bet me be near the Abuanko Fonti. And thank you so much for joining here. Thank you so much. High Life Radio, Naspa Radio, Adavupa Media, Kuku Spencer, and any team. So on Naspa Radio now, Migachu FM, Blazer Tony Law, any team go cook to me. Yeah, the almost was almost so picky a day. MIB and the crowd went to me and my baby obia. Dr. Baku State, Dr. Arthur, SO Texas, Muna went to me and Babia Jumanti, and then I went to me enjoy. But thank you so much, Samo joining, and any Dr. Collins down so a Ghana lawyer, sign a lawyer with UK, and then a Juman on a Kofi Cranton Sukasa, looking at setting up time case no more the courts no, and how Ghana we can retrieve the money of causing financial loss to the state because that the money is the subject matter of the charge 78 no more the board no more the courts no. Thank you so much, and our journey from Vim Lady Fairpoka production team. Mr. Kojo Hansen, any DOP, Eddie Bedia Kuna, DJ or Black, Commander Romano Boyena, Bibia, Moshishema, any to make us out and cast live on OK 101.7 FM. For good night. Thank you. Good night.